Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. And Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out, procrastination, putting it off, kicking the can down the road. In, plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out, carpet in the bathroom. Like, why? In, knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
This week, in Decatur, Alabama, a young widow finds a new husband, but he can't seem to keep her in the lifestyle she desires, so she leaves him. What happens next has people talking over 30 years later. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us this week. We are excited. That was a great yay, by the way.
Thank you.
Enthusiastic.
It really hurt.
It's from the lungs. I could tell it hurt. I saw the wince in your eye.
Did you feel that those were COVID-free lungs?
It's enthusiasm, though, baby. That's what I like here. We have a crazy episode as usual.
Yeah.
The last couple have just been off the charts, ridiculously insane. I don't know if they're...
You're digging deep, sir.
We're digging deep, and we're finding the crazy ones for you. Well, why not? Let's do this. Why are we going to sit around and talk about...
What are we going to take this not serious?
Yeah, well, let's not talk about the same things that every other podcast
you don't
talks
want to
about.
read me
Let's
Albert
do
Fish's
different
letters?
things. I don't, actually. That's the thing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk about Ed Gein anymore. We're good.
Have you heard of Jeffrey Dahmer?
No. People send us stuff like that, by the way. But never mind all that. Crazy stuff this week. Very quickly off the top here. Thanks for your reviews this week. They do mean a lot to us. If you have not done it yet, please get on that Apple Podcast, that purple icon, or Stitcher, one of those. But just give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. No. It's very dark in this trunk, and They're not going to let me out till I'm done. That'll work. That's fine. Do that. Helps out the show a lot. Helps drive you up the charts for some reason. Not our charts. We don't know.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, though. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything crime and sports and small town murder related. Crime and sports this week was Scottie Pippen. So everybody's heard of Scottie Pippen pretty much. And his Easter Island statue head.
I saw the bust that Chicago put
it's frightening.
It doesn't look anything like him either.
No.
They tried to make his face digestible.
So check out Crime and Sports and you'll know what we're talking about. Also on Friday, listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie. Yeah. I got to pick the movie this week. Right. We're doing The Room, which is going to be fun. It's attempted to be romantic and it's not trying to be a comedy, but it is. Yeah. So it's fantastic. So it's romantic comedy.
I've heard Blow's a love story if you look hard enough.
It's hard enough. Yeah, we're going to do The Room and just laugh at a man who's tried to make it a love story, but that'll be fun. Check that out. And bonus episode this week, very easily you can get to those if you go to patreon.com/crimeandsports. Anybody above the $5 level gets access to all the bonus material. Right. And there's a ton of it up there. We put up the all violent felon prisoner dating game to kind of give you a taste of what we do on there.
There it is.
So there's stuff like that. This week we will be discussing, only because so many people have asked us to do it, we'll be discussing finally The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, which we've all seen and it's a lot of fun and people have said I need more because we mention it from time to time. Because it always seems to parallel what we're talking about.
It does.
We'll talk about that on Patreon this week, and you can be a producer if you do that, and we will gush about you at the end of the show during our shout outs. And if you want to make a one-time donation just to be a very nice person, you can do that over at PayPal using our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. Quick disclaimer, this is a comedy show. That's what it is. We're comedians. It's a comedy show. People are going to die. It's called small town murder. Right. So there's definitely going to be murder. We can guarantee you that in every single show. And we're going to make jokes. That's the thing. We're not going to make jokes about an actual murder.
No.
You don't say, oh, and then he cut her head off. And we go, that's hilarious. And start making jokes about her, about her vocal cords hanging out. That's not what we're doing here. That's the complete opposite, actually. There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on around a murder. And we like to concentrate on that because it's craziness. And what we try to do, actually, we go out of our way to try to do, is we try not to make fun of the victim or the victim's families.
That's novel. Why?
Because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags. Yes. That's how it works. If that sounds good to you, we're going to have a blast. If you think true crime and comedy should never go together, you shouldn't probably listen to the show.
Pack it up.
But if you do, don't say you didn't warn us, and don't be complaining later on because you know what you're in for here. Right. So do that, and everybody else wants to have a good time and hear a crazy story about a wild murder. Let's do this. Let's sit back, everybody, and shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmy.
Great.
Let's go on a trip, shall we? Let's go. We're going all the way from Minnesota last week.
It was a nice place.
Freezing. Yeah. Freezing, middle of nowhere.
I'm told that place really, really sucks.
I am too, by all the people that live there. They sent us messages saying, you trashed it, but not nearly enough. They were like, that's the thing. People always ask us, are people in these towns mad at us?
Never.
Generally, they're mad when we're not mean enough.
Right.
They're never mad that we're too mean, except for Anniston, Alabama, when one person got mad and wrote an article. But I think we had our fun with him.
He's got a shirt or two.
Yeah. Let's see if he's got anything to say about this one. I don't think so. But this week, it's a little different. We're going to Decatur, Alabama.
Okay, the South is full of those.
It's a lot of Decaturs. Yeah, there's one in Georgia.
I can't wait to find out the fuck that means.
And I'm sure it's pronounced different in Alabama. Yeah. I'm sure it's Decatur.
Right.
Which, whatever, if it is. I'm fine, but we're going to say Decatur, and you can correct us if you want, and I will not care one bit. So it's in north central Alabama. Here, like kind of right up in the middle, it's near Huntsville. It's about a half hour away from Huntsville, up by the Tennessee border there. About an hour and 50 minutes to Nashville.
Okay.
Right over there. It's about an hour, 20 minutes north of Jasper, Alabama.
Oh.
Jasper was our last Alabama episode, way back, episode 117, May 1st, 2019.
My word.
We have not been in Alabama for a while.
Yeah.
That's on purpose.
A year.
This town is in two different counties. It's one of those that kind of goes over the border of Limestone and Morgan counties. Yeah. It's area code 256, 54 square miles. This place is. So it's
the town.
The town. It's a big honking area.
Sprawling.
It's sprawling and kind of gets thinner out toward the edges of it, as you might imagine.
That's how you get multiple counties out there.
Well, yeah, and it's on a river. So anything on a river, they're going to take as much riverfront as they can for the town.
Sure.
It's one of those. So the different nicknames of this town, I don't even have to make them up because one of them's hilarious. So these are all 4 are real, by the way. Nicknames of the town. All 4 are real. Let's start with the River City.
Yeah.
It's on a river that's not very creative.
Clever.
The Heart of the Valley, again, we've probably heard that from 3 other towns.
At least.
Not a big deal.
The heart of something.
The City of Opportunity, which
I
is...
don't believe you.
I'm sorry. I'm heading to Decatur. People, I know, my relatives came from Italy, and I know they huddled
right
when the Nazis were taking over Italy. They huddled together and they said, someday, son, I'm going to send you to America.
Right.
You're going to go to Decatur, Alabama. The city of opportunity.
Right.
Oh, see.
They landed in New York, and they were like, we just can't get there.
We can't get all the way to Alabama. They want to let us in.
We're exhausted already.
They said, no, you cannot come.
We're going to settle here, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
In the city of opportunity, matter of fact.
And then the 4th one is the one that I couldn't have made this up if I tried. It's more ridiculous. The Chicago of the South.
You lying bastards.
No. No, you are not. If that was true, if that were true, the South that's some sorry shit. If Decatur is the Chicago, I don't know what to say. That would make, I guess, Atlanta's the New York.
Yeah.
I don't know, but this is not okay.
Got L.A. down in Baton Rouge.
That's Houston, I think. L.A. is Houston. I'm not sure how this works. But
unbelievable.
Chicago of the South, everybody. The history of this town, it was initially known as Rhodes Ferry Landing. It was the initial place. A lot of times that'll be in a river town. Yeah. It was named after Dr. Henry W. Rhodes, who owned a shitload of land in this area and operated the ferry that crossed the river. Okay. So he's the ferry guy. You name the place after him, I guess.
That makes sense.
Yeah, what are you going to do? It was Rhodes Ferry Park is where he had the river, which is still there now. They incorporated it as Decatur in 1821. It was named in honor of Stephen Decatur after he was killed in a duel in 1820.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he was killed in a duel, and he was friends with President Monroe.
Why don't you name it after the winner of that duel?
No. Well, the Decatur guy was friends with President Monroe.
Got it.
So he was killed, and Monroe directed out that the Alabama town be named. The president told Alabama to name this town after his buddy.
And every other town that you can find in the South.
They really had no choice. So apparently he went through the South and was like, my friend is going to be known throughout every goddamn state in this union.
He went door to door.
It's weird as shit.
Goddamn, Monroe really liked him.
He muscled in a name there. That's pretty awesome. We got to have a friend in high places.
A loser in a duel got so many things named after him.
So cool. Jesus Christ, I could do that. I could lose a duel.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not friends with any presidents. That's the problem.
I guarantee probably 9 of 10 duels I'm going to lose them.
Oh, probably. I don't know how to duel.
Quick draw.
I don't know how to duel.
Unless it was with swords, it's probably with guns, right?
This is with, I assume they probably had a big case where they took like special dueling pistols out of that they've had on the shelf.
You get the silver one.
Yeah, this was like when rich people kill each other. There's spectacle behind it. There's some pageantry. There's some pageantry. It's a gala affair, you know. The women came with bonnets and little umbrellas with fucking frilly doily shit on the edges of it.
That is crazy that they would do that.
Feathers.
Line the fucking streets with guys with
happened all the time back then.
And people miss all the time.
Oh, people had duels. Well, they'd stand on the sides.
I don't give a
shit. You can go off.
I could shank one.
And suppose you get shot and shoot off to the side. Paying a wild one go. Well, they used to go watch the war itself. Like when the Civil War started.
There was like spectators for that shit?
When the Civil War started, the rich people thought it was going to be like a quick little thing where they'd have a couple battles and that would be the end of it.
Wow.
They went to hillsides that overlooked the battlefields. Rich people brought their carriages and had picnics and, let's watch the battle.
Holy
and they'd watch a Civil War battle take place before them. They thought it was like,
this will be adorable.
Yeah, that's what they thought it was because they were like, we've heard about battle. Remember that? It seems quaint. And like the European vision of battle was like this honorable thing and we'll all watch it and the ladies dressed up and it was like
horrifying.
Yeah, it was like they were going to a polo match basically, but they were watching men slaughter each other at very close range.
They needed avoided CNN.
But that would have helped something. I don't care which news channel you watch. It would have to be better than being in that close a proximity to it.
I'm just picturing seeing the war footage from CNN from Desert Storm. That's close enough.
Yeah,
that was be there.
Some guy on the floor in a hotel room.
Yeah, narrating flashes.
That's what he was. He was like, "There's a lot of shit going on out there, guys. It's the room is shaking.
That was loud.
Oh boy, the cable's out. Okay. Everybody at home right now. The tracers are going off, and he's
seeing flashes and counting Mississippis until the noise.
The sky's light. It's very bright.
That was close.
Oh boy, that was a close one. That one shook the foundation of the building. Oh boy, professionalism, journalism school. What they teach me? Fuck.
Walter Cronkite's a god.
I just wanted dude to panic and be like, God damn it, fuck this.
I just shit my pants.
I'm done. There's shit running down my leg currently, Wolf, there's shit. It's running down my leg. I think that was Wolf Blitzer, actually, with shit running down his leg.
I'm sure it was.
That's how he got famous, was being over there, whatever. Who knows?
Tell my family I love them.
Tell my family I fucking hate them. They're all a disappointment.
If I make it, I want a divorce.
Especially my daughter. Tell her I'm very disappointed in her.
Her boyfriend's an asshole. Oh, boy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So during the Civil War, because of its location, because it was on the Tennessee River, anything on waterways was strategically a big deal in the Civil War, obviously.
Gotta get shit to them.
Railroads and waterways you had to take, clearly. So, and it also was crossing of two major railroads. So you had a river and railroads. This was a big deal to take over this town strategically. So Decatur ended up being the site of a bunch of fighting during the Civil War. A bunch of scraps and encounters happened here. And then the Union Army occupied the city early in the Civil War, and the commanding general ordered all but 4 of the buildings in town be destroyed.
Really?
Fuck this town, he said, basically. That's what they used to do a lot, because that was the strategy with, you didn't want to, the enemy's war supply, you didn't want to leave it there.
You want to abandon everything in bad, unusable shape.
It's the Sherman's March to the Sea. It would fucking burn everything behind you. Just level everything from here to the Atlantic.
Did he pick which 4 buildings, or was it just like, use your discretion?
Pick 4. Whichever 4 you deem to be the nicest.
The Southern Sophie's choice.
Whichever 4 house the ladies with the largest breasts shall stand. All others shall perish before me. I am the general. So that's what happened anyway. So bricks from some of the churches in town, because they tore a lot of them down. Couldn't have there's more than 4 churches, so it's going to be that. They were used to build stoves and chimneys for buildings that house soldiers, so it just got turned into a war town. The 4 buildings that remained are still standing, by the way.
No kidding.
Yes, it's the Old State Bank, which is still there, the Dancy Polk House.
That's the whorehouse. Yeah, you know it was.
He's dancing in the wind.
We can't burn that.
It's Dancy, and you give it a poke. You know how it is. Dancy pokes.
The poke house.
Well, we'll spell it poke like the guy, but we'll, everybody knows what we mean. You know what I'm saying, buddy? You know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right. Elbowing each other. The Todd House and the Burleson Hines McIntyre House all stand. So a bank and three houses are all that remained there. After the Union victory in the Battle of Atlanta, a Confederate army under John Bell Hood, who was a bad motherfucker, actually. He was a badass general and reading a lot of Civil War stuff. He basically had a battle here with a much larger force, a garrison of the Union soldiers in 1864. That was the Battle of Decatur there, and the city was under Confederate control for a little while, and they tried to they mapped out the plans for the Battle of Shiloh there. That was at the Burleson Hines McIntyre House, which I guess that's why it still stands.
That's awesome.
It's interesting. A lot of this history.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Well, Civil War is interesting because it started and ended in the same guy's house. Really? In a different place.
Was that fuckface?
No, this guy who was a farmer. Yeah. The first battle happened near his farm. Really? He had to get rid of. He had to take off because his farm was, overrun. It's under siege. Right. And then the signing of the Appomattox, the signing was done in his living room.
Unbelievable.
In a different place. He moved.
Oh, Jesus.
The fucking war found him. Think about that. It didn't start and end in the same place. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He moved from one place to the next, and it found him, and he's like, I can't get away from this. Fine. Use my kitchen table then. I don't give a shit.
If this stops it, all fine.
Whatever.
I don't want any more of this.
Imagine that. That's
wild.
That one guy is like, responsible for, well, really nothing, but it's pretty coincidental anyway. So who the fuck knows here? So New Decatur, Alabama was the city that came out of here. That was west of the railroad tracks. So now you had we had Decatur east of the railroad tracks and New Decatur west of the railroad tracks there. New Decatur was founded in 1887, and the residents of the older Decatur didn't like the New Decatur people.
Oh, my God.
Them New Decaturs over there west of the tracks. Who would want to live west of the tracks? Think about it.
That's the wrong side.
It's the wrong side of the dang tracks now. It's founded and occupied by people who moved down from northern states, a lot of it. That's why. That's all it is. Yeah.
Got it.
You could be the greatest person in the world. They'll hate your guts down there. You could come down with gold that you're throwing to children and candy and flowers, and they'd be like, "You fucking Yankee, who's he think he is giving money to everybody?
He's better than me,
making us rich,
right?
Thinking he's better than me." They just hate Northerners. And if you're Southern listening, you're laughing because you know it's fucking true. That's what's funny. It's what you are. Who cares? Right. You know what I mean? It's hilarious. We think you're dumb no matter who you are up north. So we both have our misconceptions.
It's the same.
You could come up and just be like, "This formula is perfect," and we'd be like, "You fucking dummy." It's like that Bill Burr show. Stupid idiot.
If Einstein had a Southern accent, we would have lost the war.
We wouldn't have. We would have been like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I'm telling you, this shit works.
Stop. Enough. There's an Austrian guy. Let's listen to him. It's not as smart, but...
It makes so much sense. If we just kill the Jews, it's not bad.
Yeah.
No,
you're fucking... Jesus Christ. Never mind. So, New Decatur stoked the fire even more by renaming their town. We don't even want to be New Decatur. They named their town Albany after Albany, New York, because that's the capital of New York in 1916. So there was a lot of battling going on. And then finally, the Decatur Kiwanis Club was formed. Okay.
What is the Kiwanis?
It's a civic organization.
Is it?
I don't think it's like a Rotary Club, because that's like, or Chamber of Commerce, because that's a financial thing.
I see the word everywhere.
Businesses.
All I know it as is the Water Club.
Hunter Thompson used to always use it as a punchline of like a civic organization. That's where he said, like, what if the Kiwanis, in the Hells Angels books, he talks about, what if the Kiwanises run wild? He says you could have some 60-year-old Hells Angel 40 years from now sitting in his living room in a sport coat going, these damn Kiwanis, we did our thing back in the day, but these Kiwanis are out of control. So, I don't know what the fuck that means. So anyway, they got an equal number of members from each town to try to organize the state to build a bridge between the towns, between everything, and form one city. So they did. Okay. They formed one city of Decatur based on both of these, but the eastern parts of Decatur, as the town went on, tended to be a little more suburban, and the western parts were kind of more city-ish a little bit. So, because this is like a small city, this place. They had the first wave pool in the United States was built here.
Goddamn Kiwanis.
And still in operation at Point Mallard Aquatic Center. So there's that. I have reviews of the town. Oh boy, I have some reviews. These are all current resident reviews. There's a 1-star. Good old boy city leadership, backward vision, minimum wage opportunities, terrible roads, antiquated sewage system, mediocre schools, parks and recreation, top heavy with management. Oh boy. Maintenance drive old. I don't know what the fuck that means. Churches abound espousing the old time religion. Oh boy. Fast food restaurants abound. Industries have polluted the soil in Tennessee River. Cliquey populace. Medical care basically disregards Medicaid, homeless, and indigent. Marketing still boasts the country's first wave pool, though. Desperately needs city manager leadership. Youth services is one-sided administratively and programmatically. Oh boy.
You just described L.A., sir.
Yeah. Law enforcement is okay. Traffic flow is okay. I would fucking hope so. And then the last sentence, a backward community.
Yeah.
There's that. Here's a 2-star. If there's a new restaurant in town, they hire a lot of people, but other than that, it's hard to find places hiring above minimum wage. So this seems to be a common complaint here. There's a 2-star. The town is more suited to older people with families and retirees. Not much to do for young people. I'm a bit surprised about some reviewers' favorable rating of the schools. The schools are not great, and the Brookhaven Middle School is particularly bad while I was there. The schools failed to meet state academic standards. Oh boy. And here's one. I really enjoy it because it's literally a big square and is so small, and I like living in a small town. There isn't a huge variety of health and fitness areas, but there is some. We have 2 different gyms. A couple parks that people can go exercise and stay fit.
Yeah.
So not much going on.
Don't get lost here.
And I know exactly where I'm going. Right. It's all a big square. So population of this town, right now the population's 54,844.
Yeah.
When our murder happened, it was about 40,000 people though. So in that range, the population's up 13% since 1990. A lot more females than males in this town by like a couple percentage points, which is a little strange. Median age is pretty close to average. It's 39.6 here. Married and single is pretty close to average. Everything's normal, except for single with children. It's like 25% of the population single with children. So there's a lot more of that than normal. There's a little higher divorce rate, a little higher widow rate here as well. I don't know what the hell people are doing, but I don't know. The racial breakdown is almost pretty close to national average on things, actually. 62% white. Average in the nation is 61.5%, so not bad. 21.6% black, which is actually much higher than the 12% usual, or average, I should say. We have 0.5% Asian, though.
All right.
I ain't having none of that now. It's usually 5%. 0.5%. They're like,
enough.
Listen, Ching Chong, you can run a restaurant or some shit, but you ain't coming in here being all just Asian and stuff all around everything. You know how y'all are. Just doing things and hanging out, and you're just running around. Yeah. You know how you do. You have families.
You're telling me there's no wet market here?
Yeah, families, and then y'all just like live in your houses and stuff and like eat dinner. Just don't be doing that.
You know how you're people?
Yeah, you go like shopping at the store and buy food and come home and cook it and stuff. We don't want none of that stuff. Tell you what, you can have a restaurant, but you got to live in the next town. Live up in Huntsville where they do crazy shit like that. Them fucking Huntsville people, you don't even know.
Progressive with the goddamn comedy club.
They got a comedy club over there. Goddamn liberal people coming in from the goddamn West Coast talking about, I don't like this and I don't like that. Well, you know what we don't like? Your shit talking. Keep it in Huntsville, pal.
Unbelievable.
And by liberal, he means Adam Carolla.
Right. Nick DiPaolo.
No, yes, it's Nick DiPaolo. The not liberal is what we're getting. It's a joke. So anyway, Hispanics about 13%. Religion is, as you might imagine, higher than usual here. It's about 55% is religious, and 30% are Baptist. Mm-hmm. Goddamn, Baptists are the Catholics of the South, everybody. Holy shit, that's a lot. And 0.0% Jewish. It's no thank you. No, 0.0% Muslim. Now, the Morgan County, in the politically, last presidential election, it's a little conservative here, as you might imagine. That's about 22% Democrat in the last presidential election, 74% Republican, a little over 3% independent. Unemployment rate here is pretty low. It's a little lower than the national average, actually. Median household income, though, is also a little under what it should be. It's usually about $58,000. Here it's about $43,000.
Okay, that's not bad.
Not terrible, though, but the problem is it's about 37% of the people here make under $15,000 a year. So that's a lot.
I can't fathom.
I'm sorry, $30,000 a year. So it's about 20% make under $15,000, another 17. Okay. So it's make under $30,000. That's still
almost half the population. That's low. Under $30,000.
That's low, yeah, and not a lot of people make over $100,000. So it's some middle range and some poor, and that's how it works here. There's more manufacturing jobs than normal, so you're going to get kind of a hit and miss with jobs like that. There's good jobs, and then there's, like they said, minimum wage.
Under $30,000 though, man. That's wild.
It's tough to live for a household. That's a tough one. That's brutal. So cost of living here, overall, 100 is regular average par. Here it's 77. Okay. So it's not bad, but housing's 46, very low.
That's great.
Median home cost here, $106,500.
Unreal.
Very cheap. And I have found a few deals. If you cannot keep yourself from the Chicago of the South, we have the Decatur, Alabama real estate report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here goes for about $700, which is...
That's mad cheap.
It's cheap, but it's actually high in comparison to the price of housing. I found a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,090 square foot house. So it's a little starter house.
That's an apartment without everybody else.
Exactly. Yeah. It's your own little, but $35,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's not on wheels. It's not a trailer.
That's a real house.
It's got a foundation and everything. It's $35,000. So
that's awesome.
Not great, but for the price of a Toyota Camry, what do you want? You know what I mean? So I found a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,408 square foot, really nice big southern front porch. Big
T-bowls and B-holes working out there.
Yeah, T-bowls for B-holes, big judgment porch there to sit there sipping your lemonade. I don't know if something horrible happened here to cause this price to be low, but $72,500 for this house.
What the fuck?
It's a great house for that price. I don't understand it.
That's magnificent.
A whole family must have been slaughtered there like 3 weeks ago is the only way. They're still.
Is this the in cold blood house?
You have to clean the blood off the walls, has to be the thing. Then I found a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,400 square foot house on 4 acres. All Ford out.
All the 4 you can handle.
It's all new and beautiful.
Comes
and nice.
with a 4-wheeler.
It comes with a 4-wheeler and a 4-wheel drive. Stone,
4-door pickup.
$569,900 for that.
Okay,
you got a lot of land and shit.
Yeah,
too,
but
though.
You better justify that when I can get 3 bedrooms, 3 baths down the road.
I'll buy 4 of those houses. Go from one.
I'll 4 that up.
I'll be in a different place every day, boy. You don't even know. So things to do here. Oh boy, there's only one thing that really matters here, Jimmy, and this is what they tout as their main source of tourism and everything else. They love it.
Decatur days.
Oh no, well they have that too. But this is the Alabama Jubilee, baby.
Why is it a jubilee?
Well, we'll talk about it. It began in 1978. It's the oldest hot air balloon race south of the Kentucky Derby's Great Balloon Race.
Boy, sounds exciting.
South of this. It's the oldest one. If you go south of here and east of here, just somewhere between these erasers and these chiclets, anywhere in here.
I'm going to be honest with you right now.
Jerk here.
And this is the most maybe embarrassing. I've said a lot of things that are embarrassing. I've been to so many balloon races.
Are you kidding me?
When I was a kid, that was my stepfather's favorite thing. Because they used to blow up the Energizer Bunny hot air balloon, and that was the rabbit, and then everybody else blows up their balloon and chases them race?
It. They're going away.
You fucking...
How do you know who's winning?
Stand there. I don't know. And then you watch the bunny land, and then everybody else tries to land.
And they tell you who won?
No.
That sounds terrible, Jimmy. I don't think I've ever
met a hot air balloon champion.
No, I had a shop teacher who was a big hot air balloon enthusiast one time, and
really,
he was really into it. But he had like 4 fingers missing. He was a fucking mess.
I've got one, so I guess I was on par. Well,
he chopped him off with bandsaws as an adult, though. It's a different thing. You were a child, so you're not responsible for
watching a jet race and watching it take off, and then being like, "Well, I guess we go home and get on the TV to see the finish line."
Get on the TV.
What do you hear? I never knew who won.
They have more than 60 balloons here on this, and because of the Alabama Jubilee, Decatur has been named by the Alabama State Legislature the ballooning capital of Alabama.
Oh,
so there's
of
that.
Alabama. Very smart.
It's they're really narrowing it, narrowcast that shit. So here's a list of. They have a fireworks extravaganza, an antique tractor show, a classic car show. Want to look at some old tractors?
Not really, but the car show I'm into.
That's cool. Yeah. Arts and crafts. Of course. Live stage entertainment. They don't even tell you who, so that's not going to be great.
That's local.
Open micers there. A children's area. I feel like that's just a fence where they just go run around, kids.
Daddy's going to go look at this old Studebaker.
Don't bump into each other. Food and merchandise vendors here. A hare and hound race. I don't know. Like hare, Hare, like a rabbit.
So you got the dogs racing, chasing the rabbit?
I guess. A balloon glow. Okay.
I don't get it.
A circumnavigational task.
Oh. What?
Not the globe, I wouldn't imagine.
No.
Probably circumnavigate the town. I don't know what you do there. And tethered balloon rides, if you're a pussy. That's what it says. The sign says, pussies this way, and it's got a tethered balloon there. I'm not talking any shit. I wouldn't ride a fucking hot air balloon if you paid me all the money in the world. Gee, I'm going to shoot myself up into the air with flames into a balloon, which seems like a silly idea to begin with. But I'm going to do it. What's my chosen form? Right. A wicker basket.
Yeah.
No, this is
flammable as fuck.
Sorry, the Golden Girls use this shit for furniture. I'm not fucking dangling myself from a balloon that's going to be on fire any moment in it.
That's a great point. Not just that.
What's more flammable than wicker?
Right. You ever sat down in a wicker chair that's been on a patio for 3-4 years? It breaks apart.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it.
I don't want to be in your fucking basket.
No. No.
And then you hear it go.
Yeah. No, Dorothy, wait. Blanche, don't sit down.
Not that one.
Sophia, not even you. So, crime rate in this town. What we're interested in, property crime, is almost twice the national average. I don't know if it's the ballooners coming in stealing shit.
They are a pirate bunch.
They are. Violent crime, though, murder, rape, robbery, and assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is about 25% under the national average. So, I don't know. They'll steal your shit, but they won't kill you, so that's nice. Speaking of killing, though, in this nice little town, let's talk about a murder.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
We're going to have to go back in time a little bit here. We're going to go back to the 80s, which is always fun for us. I love the 80s murders for some reason.
I like I can see the soundtrack.
That's what I'm saying. It's a much better murder if I can hear Hungry Like the Wolf playing in the background. I don't know what it is.
Somebody driving away at a high rate of speed with some Kenny Loggins blaring.
Her name is Rio, and she's like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's all right. It's only Duran Duran on the soundtrack of the 80s. In my mind, anything mid-80s, that's all it is. It's just Duran Duran bullshit.
Toto peppered in.
A little Toto, yeah. Someone holding the line here and there. You never know. Someone's name is Rosanna.
Right.
Who knows?
You got to dedicate one at a time, too.
Throw it out to the ladies. To all the ladies out there.
Right.
So let's talk about a murder. Let's talk about some people. First, let's start with a guy named William Stewart. William David Stewart, and he goes by David Stewart, like the pitcher.
He hates Billy.
So he does not like William at all. Does not ever use William. Even in, everyone calls him David, basically, here. So
it's my stepbrother's first name. Goes by Scott. His
William? Doesn't like William?
Fucking hates it.
Well, I would think that William wouldn't be bad because you have a lot of choices of what you want to be.
You're really just flush with choices. You got Willie, you got Bill, you got Will.
Bill and Willie and William, they're so different.
Oh, my God.
Bill? Yeah. You can start your name with a whole different fucking letter. How many other names can you do that with? Start with a whole nother letter. Richard and Dick.
Yeah, that's about it.
Bill and William. What else is there? I don't even know. I can't call myself, something that doesn't start with a fucking J.
You can't go, my name's James, but I go by Frank.
That's what I mean. I can be Jimmy. I can be James. I can be Jim. That's it. There's no other options for us. You're an IE, so you're not. You're just Jimmy.
I'm
you're
just Jimmy.
Stuck with that.
And then
no
Jim
options
from time to time.
Yeah, against your will.
Right.
There's that. But if you're William, the world is your oyster, man.
Great.
Fucking, I'd go by a different thing every day. Billy, Willie.
My name's Jill today.
I don't care. Who cares? If you can be Bill, why can't you be Jill?
Might as well.
You can be anything. Who gives a shit? So he's born in 1952.
Yeah.
Comes up down in Alabama there.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. We'll talk about what he does for a living and everything like that. And he gets into the profession right after school. Mm-hmm. That's kind of his profession from now on. He ends up meeting here. He's a single guy in the 70s. It's about 23 years old when he meets a young lady who's about 22 years old. He meets Deborah, who goes by Debbie.
Yeah.
Her name is Deborah Harrison Work. Okay. Harrison is her maiden name. Work is her married name because she is a widow.
Oh.
At 22 years old.
That is tough stuff, man.
It gets worse too. Think about it. She's a nurse. This woman's a nurse, and she lost her husband, Joe Samuel Work. He died in an accident in Korea, doing some work for something over there.
Not in the Korean War.
No, this was in the 70s.
Oh, my God.
Even the only Korean War that was happening in the 70s was MASH.
Yeah.
Outside of that, the Korean War was fucking up. He was on the set of MASH, and he was crushed by a lighting rig. And she just said, he died in Korea.
Yeah.
Tells everybody.
That helicopter landed on him on the beginning scene. Took his head clean off.
That landing gear is sharper than it looks, I'm going to tell you. The thing on the bottom that people hang from cuts the shit out of your hands.
Razor sharp.
It's like dunking on a basketball hoop with chain net. It just cut the shit out of your hands. Looks fun, but it's not. So not only does she's a young woman whose husband dies, they have a 5-month-old daughter.
Oh, my.
So could life get more?
That is tough stuff.
That's a curveball that you don't expect.
No.
You get married young and you have a child with a young person. You don't expect to be at 22 raising that child by yourself.
He's enlisted and there's a world war.
That's and you're like, knock me up before you go over there and get killed by the Japanese so your family name can live on.
The legacy.
Yeah, it's not like that. I think he was like doing some contracting work for some.
He's an accountant and got run over by a car.
Yeah, he was like a rep for Pepsi or something, going over there trying.
Bicycle courier blasted him as he come out of the restaurant.
Yeah, he's over there trying to tell Korea that it's the choice of a new generation, guys. Guys, I'm serious. You don't understand.
You can't taste the difference. It's so good.
They're just shaking their heads. No, we don't know what he's talking about. And then he's killed by a rickshaw right outside on the sidewalk. Just murdered by a rickshaw. Joe Samuel.
Some monkey riding a bicycle.
Poor man, yeah. An actual monkey on a bicycle. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like those little bicycles that the monkeys ride. Yeah, that's hilarious. I saw that in my head, and it was hilarious. Just the thought of a monkey riding a bicycle made me happy.
And it was afraid to be arrested, so it just ran off.
The fact that it killed a man didn't even make it less sad. It didn't make it less funny even. He killed a guy, and you go, oh, that guy, but then, hey, look at the monkey. Pedal it away. We'll deal with the dead guy. He's always going to be dead. But that monkey, you're not going to see that every day. If someone puts a cigar in his mouth, that's it. I'm moving here.
He's got that little square hat.
I'm moving here. I don't give a shit.
This is my kind of place.
Some Italian guy hiding behind something. He's doing good. I make him do. You put no money, go in here. In here. What are you doing? So now she's a widow at 22 with
a terrible life, man.
5-month-old daughter, little JoJo, named after the father, whose name was Joe.
Yeah,
this is JoJo,
and it's his daughter named JoJo.
That's cute. JoJo. Yeah, so they did that. It's very sad, though. Very, very sad. So they meet in 1975, and this is only a few months after Joe Samuel.
Dave just met her.
Dave meets her as a young widow. So she is in some turmoil at the moment, and he's the type of guy, as we'll talk about from like his job and shit. He's kind of a nurturing guy, and he sees this as he wants to help her, and also she's a smart woman. She's a nurse. She's like she's a catch also at the same time, even with a young daughter at 22. It doesn't matter.
Even with the emotional baggage that's coming with a fresh fucking death.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. And some people though kind of they're, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're attracted, magnetized to people of that, like that.
Okay.
Some people are
gravitate to people that need them.
That need the help. And it's a lot of times you can tell by what they do. Like she's a nurse, so she would be one of these people that does that also.
Take care of somebody.
If you know nurses, they're nice people.
Generally.
They're generally really nice. They're generally very generous with their time and with everything. Not the school nurse, no. That
lady's a bitch.
She's retired. She's like, I don't want to fucking do this anymore, and I got to deal with you assholes. I just wanted to keep some health insurance.
Our answer for everything when we felt sick at school was go lay down.
Yeah, go lay down, or they can give you Tylenol. It was like the thing.
You're going to die in the next 3 hours, go lay down.
You're not going to die. You're not going to call your parents now.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a lot of those nurses, though. They're just different types of people. They're much more willing to help people they know. They're to want to do that with your life. Let's face it, it's a fucking gross job.
It is.
It's disgusting.
It really is.
If you're not, if you can't put that out of your head, there's, you got to deal with.
You're going to see the worst
functions and things and people at their lowest, and also it's a sad job.
Yeah,
you're going to see people die. You're going to see sick people. It's sad.
People get into that career thinking that it's like so much fun to help people. And then you realize, oh my god,
I got to help people.
This is what I got to help.
Oh no,
it's like a dude getting into gynecology because he gets to see vaginas. Then he's like, oh god, I
have to see all the vaginas. I didn't want to see all of them.
I don't just get the good ones. I don't just get checkups.
I don't get to pick and choose.
I see the sick ones where I've got to just diagnose.
I would say if you go to medical school and spend all that time just to see some vaginas, you have way bigger problems. Can you imagine that?
You are a dedicated man.
You're the most dedicated pervert in the history of the world. That would be, you almost should show people your vagina. Show the guy your vaginas, everybody. Think about how much he wants to see them. Have you ever wanted to see a vagina that much where you're like, I'm going to go to school for 15 fucking years and do a residency and,
and read books about the gross parts of them.
And be $400,000 in debt and then pay a bunch of medical insurance just so I could get a look at that sweet, sweet cooter. I don't think it's good. You'd have to really
learn gross words like labia.
Oh, yes.
Minor and major. What terrible words for the most amazing thing on earth.
Most persistent pervert in the history of the world is that man, that doctor. Right there. I'd love to know if any of that person exists, and if they do, I really hope they don't. Because I don't want anybody to go to them.
There's nothing that I've ever said, I'm sure of it, that's never been said before and never been thought of before.
That's true.
That's been thought of. Absolutely.
Someone's like, I'm going to see all the vaginas. And they were like, oh no, I got to see all the vaginas.
And now he works at Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, he's like, I can't do it no more.
He works for Grease Monkey.
Can't do it. He went back to school and now he's doing like eye lifts and shit. He's doing like Botox injections.
But from time to time, the eyelids on elderly kind of resemble a vagina. And then he gets flashback.
It's a flashback. And he's like, and he runs out of the room sweating on all red.
I can't do it.
I can't do it. Jesus Christ. Brought me back to that time, man. I lost my best friend, died in my arms.
We lost
that vagina knocked him right over. He didn't even see it coming, man. So, yeah, this is disgusting. Anyway.
So nurses are great.
Nurses are nice, is what we were saying. No, but like a nurse, if you know nurses, if they see a car accident, they will stop to see if someone needs help.
I think it's part of their duty.
It is. Yeah. But can you imagine a job? Okay, if I was trying to get a job and they're like, oh, part of this is every time you see a car accident, you have to go by and see if anyone's like arm is dangling off by a piece of tendon or something. I'd be like, no, thanks.
Because you got a CDL and can drive truck.
I don't want this fucking job anymore. Yeah, I don't think so. Fucking no. And that's just me. I'm squeamish, so I'm not into, that sort of thing.
Compound fractures, I'm fucking out of here.
I wouldn't be helpful, is the thing. I'd be like, oh, God, your shit's Jesus Christ, somebody fucking call him. Get some tape or something.
Thank God, this guy is unconscious. I'm going to throw up.
Jesus Christ. No, it's not that bad, bro. You're gonna be fine. Fuck.
That guy's gonna die, you guys. I gotta get the fuck out of
here. No, you're good, bro. It's fine. No, I had a bad burrito earlier. It's fine. It's not you. I had Taco Bell. I
got the flu.
Don't eat the big beef. Don't eat it. It'll fuck you up.
Any of them that say cheesy, it's just nacho cheese. You don't want to eat that.
That's where I would be.
Yeah.
So anyway, nurses are nice people. Also, he is a nice person as well, as we'll discuss here. Now, they live together. They move in pretty quick in 1975. It's pretty fast as far as start going out, and he says, you can move in with me, bring your daughter.
Oh.
Everything's fine. So they move in together, and they live together for about 3 years. During that time, Debbie becomes pregnant again.
What?
During that time, before they're married. However, they get an abortion on this.
Okay.
So that's a late 70s down south abortion.
That's wild.
I don't know how far they had to drive for it. I don't know if there was they might have had to drive a while.
It's a day trip.
No, we don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many clinics were around there. But so they're family planning is what I'm getting at here. They have a plan, I guess, or something. No, I think they wanted to be married first as well. It was a big part of it. In August of 1978, they get married. Okay. And so then they're ready to start a family, they say, and they're ready to start. But
great.
Yeah, so that's how that works. Now, what's David doing? She's a nurse. David, in addition to being a youth counselor at a Decatur church, was kids.
Boy, oh boy.
The abortion clinic is that way, children. So, yeah, I love that so much. I just like that. I don't know.
It just goes to show sometimes everybody needs one.
Church and youth. I mean? Yeah, that's what I mean. Church, youth counselor. And he's like, I don't need more kids around me. Yeah. More kids? No.
Boy.
So he does that. In addition to that, and again, this is a job that kind of helps people. Since 1975, January of 1975, right before he met Debbie, he's been employed at a residential facility. Oh boy! This is the actual name of it. It's the Monroe, Jesus Christ, residential facility for profoundly retarded people.
It says that on a sign.
Unbelievable. Profoundly.
1975.
Not just
a little bit. No mild retardation around here.
Profoundly. Like, I think just for retarded people would have been plenty, because that wasn't an insulting thing to say back then. It was a medical thing. So that would have been fun.
Makes it a little bit.
Profoundly makes it like that's like no, you don't even want to look at them. We just lock them in a room. They're banging. They don't even fucking know what they're doing. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible. It sounds mean as shit.
I watched a documentary on Netflix about what those places did. I mean, granted,
it's so sad,
this one might be on the up and up. I've
seen those too.
It is horrible, man.
Yeah, I've seen those.
They had a guy in there that they diagnosed him as quote-unquote retarded. Found out later he just had fucking MS.
Oh, no.
And he was perfectly... Just couldn't...
his mind was fine.
He just couldn't talk and his
body
limbs were fucked up.
Yeah.
But he's all there.
No, there's that's...
so shitty.
Have you ever seen Cropsey, the documentary Cropsey on Netflix? It's very interesting. It's about this Long Island town. I believe it's Long Island. And in the woods is this abandoned mental institution in the town, which I grew up near the woods. We had the Bleachery, which was like this abandoned factory thing that you'd go in. And
it just smells like jizz.
Chizzy. We talked about it, the Bleachery. So... This was like the abandoned mental institution in the woods. There's like no road that leads up to it. It's fucking shut down with shit on it.
It's all grown over.
Yeah, and so they go back to, there's a legend of this, like, an escaped patient that lives in the woods. Christ. That's what they're investigating, the legend of the town. But this hospital was outed in the late 60s. It's what made Geraldo famous.
Oh, I do know this.
Geraldo went there, walked in with cameras, and they had...
That's the one.
They were just housing people. They were fucking...
That's the one. That's what I saw.
Throwing shit at themselves and fucking banging against the wall.
That's the one.
Yeah, it's just rooms full of people that have fucking no cognizance of anything, no recourse.
Except for the one guy who just has MS in the corner.
And these poor people are just being treated like animals. They're being thrown in and treated like chickens on a farm, basically. Just allowed to bump into each other and run into walls. And it's disturbing, man.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. So I'm hoping this place was better than that.
I imagine it is.
I think it is, because this Stewart's job he was kind of in charge of helping finding jobs for patients.
Oh, great.
So he was trying to, so I feel like this is a place that's more trying to help people, in the world to do things. And that's his job, is finding employment for, quote, profoundly retarded people.
I was going to say, trying to get the ones that are least profound.
Yeah, least profound. Yeah.
Back into society.
Or you use it as a selling point. You go, he's profound. It's the most.
You got to hire this guy.
He's the most profound person we have in the entire program. You tell people that.
Really? Because he's sitting there staring at us eating his boogers.
He's looking the other way. He's not even looking at us. The guy, no. Profound. He's got deep thoughts. That's what he's doing. You don't want to interrupt him. We're not making fun of that. We're making fun of the right thing. Don't worry.
It's unbelievable.
Don't worry. That's not offensive, is what I'm saying. We're making fun of the correct thing. It might take you a second to untangle what we're making fun of, but it's definitely the system and not the person. So anyway.
Exhausting, man.
It is terrible. So 1978, they get married. Debbie and David are married. Debbie, David, little JoJo.
Right.
They purchase a house and the persona non grata fetus that they had there as well. So they purchase a house in southeast Decatur. And this is, they're kind of living in a nice neighborhood. It's kind of a posh neighborhood. Debbie wants a nice house. She wants nice things. She wants to live in a nice neighborhood. David is also very concerned about kind of social things. He wants to be like a member of the country club.
Okay.
He wants to be like a member of things. You know what I mean?
It's a big deal to him.
It's a big deal to him to like have a Christmas gala to go to in December. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit like that. Like, well, we got to go down to the club and dress up and go, you know. It's his thing.
Sound?
Terrible. That sounds fucking terrible. Hang out at a club with a bunch of people. Can you imagine that?
Compare your life to mine, please.
Ugh, no.
I don't want to.
Walking around all douchey. What are you doing?
Fucking sweater on.
What college are your kids going to? Fuck you. All that, but with a Southern accent, too.
Right.
Pompous Southern people.
Ugh.
But if they're rich Southern people, I want that old school rich Southern person accent, because that's a great accent.
That's my aunt and uncle that you got high.
His accent's awesome.
That's the guy.
I got him real stoned. He's an old man with a Southern accent, a very nice, a very elegant Southern accent. And I got him fucking so high. He was profound at the time. I got him profound. We'll put it that way. He profoundly stumbled out into the theater and sat down
and then laughed and had a great time.
He was a great guy.
That's what, because he worked for like a huge Fortune 500 company as like he mattered to this company, and that's what he is. But they're the like progressive Southern people that
will smoke weed when they're 70.
Yes,
yeah, he's like he's cool. He's a cool old guy.
He's great.
Yeah, he's a cool old dude. I liked him. That Val Kilmer in Tombstone accent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's that different accent.
Very laid back Georgia.
Boy, I see.
Yes,
it's
sir.
It's almost like a refined foghorn leghorn. I would say would be a good way to put it.
Foghorn leghorn with his pinky up.
Yes. His pinky out. So they
love you, Uncle Danny.
Oh, man, he's awesome. So Debbie ends up quitting her job as a nurse so she can be kind of a live-at-home, a housewife and a mother, and she wants to raise her family. She's got a young daughter who's still preschool age, and also they want to expand their family a little bit here, so she ends up leaving her job. So they're relying on David's income for a while. At one point here, he becomes the psychologist coordinator for a training group at the Wallace Center, which was the place where he worked with the profoundness there. So in 1979, they have a second child.
Great.
And so, and another daughter.
Oh,
so now,
that's awesome.
Two little girls. They have two little girls under 5 years old. Very cute. A lot of cuteness going on in the house.
Having a great time.
Having a great time. That sounds wonderful. Also, around this time, they bought a small house in a nice neighborhood. Okay. They picked worst house in the best neighborhood, that type of thing, which for real estate investing is smart.
Yeah.
The worst place in the best neighborhood is better than the best house in the worst neighborhood.
Absolutely.
So that's how it works. And that's what they did. So it was still a little pricey for them, this house, but they wanted to make it work, and they figured over time, as they expand their family, they could add on to the house.
Hell yeah.
Which is an interesting, you could kind of do that, I think, back then a little easier than now.
It's tough now.
It's so hard now.
And especially, and where we live.
Depends on where you live. Yeah, Phoenix, we have these lots. There's nowhere to
and you can only
to.
have a certain percentage of your lot occupied by the dwelling.
By the dwelling. So, you can't get more property that you already have a firewall around your house. So it's your concrete brick block wall all around your house. You're kind of stuck.
And your neighbor's house is within fire's reach away.
Exactly.
So you can't just keep adding on to it.
Within a breezy fire's reach away. So, you can't really do that. Whereas if you're kind of in a more rural area and you have a big yard and the houses, you can kind of.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I don't know what the building regulations were in 1979 in Alabama either.
Probably
so
a little
more
stringent.
lax. Yeah, I think you could probably just go out there with some boards and some nails and
some 2x4s. Go ahead.
Your buddies and a couple of beers, and you can slap something onto the house. Probably it wouldn't be a big deal.
Don't take down those weight holding walls.
No, we got to keep them up.
Yeah,
shake it.
Give it a good kick.
Did you hear the ceiling? It was about to crack. We'll just leave that.
You go to the other side of the house. I'm going to kick this wall. If that one shakes, we keep it.
Tell me if it's shaking. So they have the second child in 1979, and they begin an extensive renovation at this point. And they want to expand it a little bit. They're going to add an extra bedroom, and they're also remodeling everything. They're just doing it. They're kind of gutting the house and modernizing it.
They're going real hard on testing this relationship.
Yeah, can you imagine
a baby and then a whole house remodel?
A house remodel is probably the most stressful thing you could ever do.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
No.
Just buy a house with that shit in there, and if you can't, just stay where you are and be fine with your countertops, because it's not worth destroying your home and your marriage and your relationships and your sanity and your sex life and your family and future psychological ailments of your children caused by this. A house
remodel's a nightmare.
It's a goddamn nightmare. So, and it is a nightmare for this. And imagine having two small children, one of running around age and then an infant. That would be insanity. Just for nails and shit being around. You'd be paranoid about everything.
I go to feed the baby and I come back, the countertops are different.
They're different countertops. I ain't even got a countertop now. It's gone. Came back just a whole cabinet.
Didn't ask my opinion.
I looked down and could see my pots and pans. I was like, what the hell's going on here? I can't usually see them from over the countertop. This is different.
I only see pans. The pots are hanging from the fucking ceiling.
Shit, did I say put hooks in? Oh, fuck. I hate them damn hooks hitting my head on shit. She don't care because she's shorter than me, goddamn. Oh, fuck this marriage. That's a renovation.
It's so easy.
It could happen.
So easy to get out. Yeah.
Oh, God. So they begin the renovation and the remodeling, as all renovations. Anytime you remodel the house, it will take longer than you thought it would, and it will be much more expensive than you thought it would.
Absolutely.
No one's ever said we're going to remodel the whole house. They're like, a month early, under budget. Weird. Never once happened ever in the history of construction. That's never happened ever.
As you tear a wall out and then you go, oh, well, that shit's not back here. We got to put that in. Now we got to build this wall different.
That's not up to code now, so now we have to do this.
All that shit out.
Yeah, it's always going to be more expensive.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah, exactly. Money pit. 2 weeks. Oh,
just 2 weeks.
Tom Hanks laugh. I love that. So this becomes a problem. They start fighting a lot, and also this causes financial problems as they can't just stop because the house is in...
You can't live in it.
No, it's in the complete state of disrepair, so you better come up with the money to finish it. And I feel like that's what contractors do to you. It's like, well, your house is half done right now. You can live in that forever, or you can say that extra 15% is fine for you and you're going to pay it. That's kind of how it works.
Run on down to the bank now.
That's it. That's what it is. And maybe get another mortgage.
Right.
So this causes problems. Financial shit is hard on couples. It really is. And it's, for the next few years, they're still kind of finishing the house. They finally get it done, of where they wanted it, renovated, remodeled, put a little extra room on it. And, things start to calm down a little bit through the early 80s. The kids start to grow up a little bit.
Rebuild this relationship.
Yeah, JoJo's 7, 8, 9 years old. The baby's kindergarten age here in 1983, 1984. So it's around this time. February of 1984, they have another child.
Oh, no.
It's another little girl named Morgan. So 3 little girls now. Adorable.
It's a lot of weddings to pay for.
Boy, that's a lot of weddings.
Oh, my God.
You're just like, oh, man, please.
Jesus.
Please
Can
be.
I get a boy and get a break?
Yeah, please be, I don't know, not, focus on school.
Right.
You don't need to get married. Oh, shit, I got to pay for that, too. God damn it. Never mind. Be a musical genius. Can you do that?
Right.
Can you be like famous when you're 12? Take care of their other weddings for the other kids I got here.
Have you heard of Taylor Swift?
Yeah, because I think you can do it.
Right.
I'm just saying right now. So this one born February 1984. Now the house is too small.
Oh, no.
Because they remodeled it and they added the extra room, but now you add an extra baby, and now you can't have 3 little girls sleeping in a room. This isn't the fucking Brady Bunch.
Right.
It's a totally different deal. So what they decide, which this seems insane. Imagine making this decision. They decide, let's add a second story to the house.
Going up?
Going up.
Oh.
Not even going out. Going
up.
What is this, New York City?
Can you imagine adding a story to your home, what that would entail?
I can't even. I'm sure that it's not that crazy because people have done it
do it all the time, but it seems.
But that for sure means
bonkers.
Brand new roof.
Brand new
roof is
now a floor.
10 grand.
Do that, build it up. Then you're going to have all the plumbing that goes up there, the everything.
Wiring.
Make sure that it sounds insane. And then also all this is going on. How do you live in a goddamn house that's half done?
It's got no roof.
That's got it's plastic tarps over your shit for half the time. It's a mess.
That sounds terrible.
That sounds terrible. Sounds worse than the balloon festival.
That's so scary too, because you've got to entrust that the people that you're trusting this with has. They know what they're doing.
They're going to not destroy your house, leave you with a gaping hole in your roof with no upper.
You got to put new trusses up there.
That's what just to hold the weight of that, and then a new roof on top of that, and then you need where your roof was now has to be a floor,
right?
So you have to have there's certain regulations for that.
Scary.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be easier to buy a new house. I feel like
think?
You would imagine so,
wouldn't it?
You would imagine so, especially because they really couldn't afford it to do this either. This wasn't something they could afford, and it would just be inconvenient. They can't afford it, and it's a pain in the ass. So this is not a smart idea.
Right.
We'll say here. So the other thing is, let's add the stresses. We have, little children. Right. We have a house with, an upper floor being built, which sounds just like the whole house would be turmoil while that's going on. Not being able to afford it. There are financial problems. Also, Debbie, since the birth of the third daughter, she's having just problems emotionally about it. She's having like a postpartum thing, like is very common.
Yeah.
And she didn't have it with the first two kids, but she's having a hard time with the third kid.
Got a third kid, and now this happened.
You add everything else.
Stayed fine with the other two. Now they look like hell.
Well, also too, I don't have a roof. Like I don't know. There's a house. My house is just. I assume you have a baby, and everybody wants to have a place to put the baby that's comfortable and have a, nest.
Right.
You nest as human beings, as people, as parents. You do that, and you really can't in this house. And then there's financial problems, which is also stressful when you have a baby.
Of course.
Yeah, and you're talking about medical bills and things, and fucking hospital bills, and
I can't even imagine.
It's a lot. So there's a lot going on, and you add to all of that it would make sense that if you have baby hormones and postpartum anyway going on in your body, to add all those stressors to it, it's going to bring that sort of thing out and make you feel worse. I would imagine. So she had a difficult pregnancy also medically, which was a problem too. She had to do bed rest at the end of it. So it's been hard.
This woman's tough as fuck.
Oh, she's super tough. Yeah,
unbelievable.
She's definitely tough. But this whole thing has kind of taken a toll on their marriage a little bit, and it really, really, she got more and more depressed after the baby was born in '84. And like I said, all the shit going on, you would be depressed anyway, even if your hormones were fine and your body wasn't trying to recover from this horribly traumatic experience of this profoundly traumatic experience.
And then couple that with being in the 80s and not knowing a lot about medical
it's not
things
the same. Yeah,
she's probably got a lot of resentment towards him that she had to go have an abortion.
Yeah.
Who knows if that had a play in this too?
We don't know.
Who knows?
And this is the tail end of, and also in Alabama, so I'm not sure. This is the tail end of the cheer up bitch era.
Yeah,
where somebody like this, we brought that up with Betty Lou Beats, where she had a bad postpartum time and everything, and they were basically back then they'd be like, I don't know, cheer up, bitch. I don't know what to tell you.
Deal with it, sugar.
That's it. That's life, I guess. No, that's not how you tell people, and that's still kind of the thing. They were like, well, yeah, after you have a kid, you get depressed. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Cheer up, bitch. Have a good one.
In the tub.
Here's a lollipop and a balloon. Like you're 12.
Outta here.
Fuck out of here. Yeah.
I got other awful vaginas to look at.
Yeah, don't you know? I went to school forever for this. Hoping to get one good one in today. You never know. You never know. My 2 o'clock's looking promising. I'll tell you that right now.
2 o'clock sounds like just a checkup. It should be okay.
It should be good. It's nothing bad. There's nothing dripping out, so that's good.
The word discharge is not in the paperwork.
I'm excited about that. Very, very excited. That is disgusting. So he's upset because she's not herself at the moment, which, gee, sorry. I mean, it's hard to be yourself if you've just got.
Can you imagine?
Spit a baby out, and then tell me how you feel. It's difficult.
I can't even.
So yeah, she would withdraw a little bit, or she'd be like snappy at him and things like that. So he would
he felt kind of like pushed out of the circle. He felt kind of like, oh, you care about the kids so much, because they're small and she has to care for them. So she can't just be like, I don't know, the baby's somewhere. I think he's at the bar. Like,
but then there's also 3 women in the house right now, and he's got to feel outnumbered.
4.
I mean, 4.
Yeah, 4.
Three babies that are girls, and then the wife too.
Yeah.
And he's got to feel outnumbered.
Which is natural. That's just a natural thing to feel like. But you get over it. You're an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This dude's 32 years old at this point.
You can't figure it out by now.
Yeah, he should probably get over it, I would say. She ends up getting some medication to try to help her a little bit, and it doesn't really do much for her, though, for her moods and things like that. Yeah, and I don't know what they would give you in 84 for postpartum depression. They're probably placebo. Right. It's probably just sugar pills. Here you go, cheer up, bitch, and they give you sugar pills. That's it. Oh, wow, these are delicious.
Might be a couple of Valium.
Who knows? Yeah, it's probably Tylenol. Yeah. It was like in a different...
Which is hilarious that they would give Valium.
Flintstones. Why does mine look like Wilma?
Right.
Don't worry about that. It's just how they look. Don't sweat it.
Wait till Thursday, you get Fred.
Oh, yeah. I look forward to Bam Bam every week. Those are so delicious.
Yeah, they are.
Flintstones.
They really are.
I want them, and I'm mad I shouldn't have them.
I'm jacked that I get, because I'm near 40, I get a multi now, and I got a gummy. And it's awesome.
I got a gummy thing.
They're so good.
They are. They're good.
So good.
Yeah, I like the red ones. One of my favorite. The red gummies are awesome. Yeah, I love those things. Can't have too many of them, though, because if you have too much vitamin C...
Then you shit your pants for 3 days.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
As a child one time, I was at my friend's house, 7th grade, and we were hanging out. We were hanging out at his dad's house. His dad ended up getting busted for dealing coke like later on that year. So his dad's house was awesome, as you can imagine. Right. It was just his dad would like go up in a room or like disappear for a while, and it was just you could do whatever you want. And we were like 12. He had like a stand-up arcade game and shit like that. You could do anything you want. So we'd be skateboarding and playing baseball and doing all this shit and playing games. So anyway, he also had in his bathroom at 12, this was great, he had tons of dirty magazines, like all different ones too, like Filthy, Hustler, and all this filthy shit. When we were 12, we're like, this is great.
The one that showed penetration.
Oh, actual penetration. So he'd have all this, and then we found in his kitchen he had this giant, like I don't know, like if you bought like a gallon of mayonnaise, like that giant size of a jar,
a vat
full of vitamin C pills that looked like little oranges, and they tasted amazing.
The chewable ones that were like a powder?
They were like crunchy, like a Flintstones, but they were orange, and they tasted just like orange juice. When you bit into them, it was like a burst of orange. So they were like little candies. And we were like, oh, they're vitamin C, so they can't be bad for you.
Right.
So we sat down and watched TV and had this big jar in the middle, and we were just eating them.
Eating them like bonbons?
No, 5 at a time, Jimmy. Like they were chiclet, like they were Pez. That's how we were eating them, popping them. I must have had 150 of them, I swear to God. And we all did.
Like they're Sour Patch Kids.
We all did. And then his dad came home, and his dad never like monitored us or anything. And he walked in the room, walked past the living room, and then he walked back in and he goes, what the hell are you guys doing with the vitamin C pills? And we go, they're delicious. And he goes, how many of these did you eat? We're like, a fuckload, like a lot of them.
He's Look how far it's down.
So he starts laughing. He goes, I'll make sure there's paper in the bathroom. And we're like, what are you talking about? Our insides emptied.
Liquefied.
For like 2 days. I had like 700 oranges worth of vitamin C. It was not okay, dude.
Yeah, you probably don't have to eat it ever again.
Ever again.
You still got some
I didn't have a cold till I was 18. It was amazing.
You're going to have a colonoscopy when you're pretty soon here.
Yeah.
You're about
like, hey, look at you.
And they're going to find pills in there.
Yeah. You still got some vitamin C in here from 91.
It's shaped like oranges.
What's going on in there? So
got some orange slices.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. So she gets pills, and it's supposed to help, and it doesn't help very much. So he's asking the doctor, when's she going to be back to normal? And the doctor's, being a doctor and saying, be patient. Yeah. She just had a child. It'll get there eventually. That's what happens. This is a cycle. It's very natural.
Tell her she's pretty once in a while.
That's all. Tell her
asshole.
Everything's great. Nice guy.
Right.
Be nice to her. That's all. So.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. Yeah. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping. You got a car payment due. There's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Spot Me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in Spot Me and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero Bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. Yeah. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late-night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. Yeah. No compromises, just flavor, ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Oh, but he's talking about the house. That's the thing. The house is his big concern because he's in charge of this second story on this house. So in this house, he puts a big giant new bathroom in the upper. I think it's supposed to be the new master bath, basically, in the upper.
So
thing.
They're going up there and leaving the kids down here.
I think so. Or they're going to be like one of the bedrooms up there and a master bedroom and then 2 more downstairs where they had the 2, I think is what they're going to do. So they're going to do this sort of thing. He puts this huge bath. The problem is he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it done in the time he was going to try to get it done in time. So, I mean, like we said, never does a renovation, especially one of this size. Right. This is huge. This isn't like we're ripping out the kitchen tile.
You're doubling your square footage, bro.
Yeah, and upward, too. Not even out. Right. Up, which means more complicated for everything, basically.
Nuts.
So he also promised her he'd build a fish pond in the backyard that he didn't build yet.
Why would you?
She wanted a fish pond. She wants a little like a concrete, like a koi pond type thing, landscape around it. She wants that in the backyard.
I get it.
As a centerpiece.
Maybe we wait
till we have all our bathrooms functioning. What do you say? Otherwise, we're going to be shitting in the fish pond. Do you want to shit in the fish pond? Which one do you want?
It keeps raining like this. Our living room is going to be a fish pond. We don't have a roof.
We'll just put goldfish here.
Right.
Yeah. So she's upset with him for not doing this sort of thing. The whole plan was everything, upper floor and fish pond, supposed to be done by the 4th of July, 1984.
Yeah.
The 4th of July, they planned to have a huge cookout, inviting both of their families and a big celebration of look at our new story. And we'll have, put the barbecue right next to the fish pond. We'll have a good old Alabama 4th of July, right? Yeah. That's the time, but it didn't happen yet. It's not done, and the fish pond hasn't even started. So he's very much in the doghouse. He's in the doghouse at this point, too. She's pissed off at him, basically, for all this, and he's thinking she's just mad at me because she's got postpartum depression, and she's like, well, yes, and right. You know what I mean? There's two. It's more than that.
We're gonna treat this like improv tonight. Yes, and there's so much.
You've done more.
The litany. It goes on.
You're helping really perpetuate it in a profound way. So, July 10th, 1984 comes around. This is a week past the 4th of July, obviously. The expiration date on the renovation is passed.
Right.
Debbie is not happy. Debbie is mentioning it every day. Gee, 4th of July was last week.
Yeah.
Where's my new bathroom?
It'd be nice if the AC stayed in this house.
Things like that.
Right.
Yeah. So David leaves early for work that day, which is normally what he does. Very normal. Debbie and the kids go back and forth all day with her neighbor. The next door neighbor down the street neighbor has children around her age.
Cool.
It's this woman named Evelyn. So she goes over there. The kids play like all day, and they go back and forth, go home to eat lunch, come back, play more.
That'll help with your depression.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice for the kids, too. It's socializing the kids. It's a good deal. So at about 6 p.m., Evelyn takes the two older kids, not the baby, takes the two older kids to a ball game. I think there's a minor league ball game or something, or a high school game or something going on. Some low-level baseball game is happening in July, leaving Debbie at home with the baby, little Morgan, okay?
Decatur Cubs.
The Decatur Cubs.
Because they're Chicago.
The Decatur Devils.
They're Chicago of the South.
That's true. Yeah, they should be the Cubs. You're right.
Decatur White Sox.
God damn it, guys. You're missing the boat if you're not doing that. So she does this 6 o'clock p.m. That's when Evelyn takes the kids to the game. Debbie's at home with the daughter. So right after that, about 6:30, David gets home from work. And he gets home from work to find not what he wants to see. He finds Debbie, she's alive and fine. Okay. Normally when we say that means that someone's, innards are strewn across the table lamp. That's not, there's no intestines hanging over a lampshade, thank fuck.
The MVP of the Chicago White Sox is standing over with a baseball bat.
Yeah, he's just, he's working it and just,
the Decatur White Sox.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
So this is almost a scarier sight. He finds his wife on the sofa in the den, sitting in the dark.
Oh, no.
Okay. So something's up here. Yeah. Either she's real pissed off or she's lost her fucking mind or something. But this is not normal behavior, obviously. We say that a lot on this show, and that's because most of the behavior on this show is not normal. Yeah. This is included. So he walks in. He's like, hey, what's up? What's wrong? Something the matter? So she told him, that, something's the matter. Somebody came from the electric company today and stopped by the house with a return check saying that our check bounced and that he came to turn the electricity off.
Oh, no.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
We have 3 babies. Right. We can't have no electricity in our fucking house here. What are you doing, basically? Apparently, 2 of the neighbors were there at the time as well.
Oh, no.
That she was having a social time with them, and...
You embarrassed me.
You come in, this guy comes in waving a bounced check, because they said they were there to turn off the electricity. She's like, we paid the electric bill. What are you talking about? And he said, yeah, you did. Here's your return check.
Right.
That didn't, bounce. So, very embarrassing with the neighbors, because this neighborhood, too, is kind of like a whispery, poshy.
Nobody has their electricity shut off.
Yeah. Oh my. Return check.
Electricity. What's next? The water.
Oh god. Yeah, because that's not like the electric bill was due, and a week later you send them a check and it bounced, so they turned it off. That takes a while.
Yeah.
That's 3 months worth of.
And in the 80s.
Yeah.
Have you seen Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah. Oh my god. You could be. Takes forever to do that shit. Yeah.
Fly across the country.
You can do anything you want with that shit. So this is very, very embarrassing, and Debbie is very, very angry at David. And at this point, she starts yelling at David about not having his shit together. He's supposed to take care of the family, and he's not taking care of the family. And he says he's trying his best, and he's doing his best. He said, well, I didn't fucking want the goddamn giant addition upstairs that we can't afford. I didn't say to do that. That's what you wanted, so I'm trying to do that, what you want, and I'm trying to do this. And she says, oh yeah, well, you got to join your fucking country club. Why do you have to act like a big shot? And he's like, well, you want to have all this shit and act like a big shot, and I can't fucking afford it, so we're going back and forth. A bad marriage argument of he's accusing her of this and she's accusing him of this.
So much baggage.
Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. They're in this together, so it really doesn't matter who's right or wrong. But she turns it to, she says that he is being weak by not getting a larger salary at work. That's her. She turns it on that. Well, you don't make enough money because you're weak and you don't get as much money as you should from your job. Which is not really what you want to hear. Wow. If you came home from work all day, you just did 12 hours, and she's like, you know, what you're doing isn't even good enough.
Right.
So,
with your tiny dick in this house.
With your tiny dick in your unfinished edition.
You piece of shit.
This unfinished edition represents your flaccid little penis. You understand that?
I can't believe you got me pregnant ever.
With your profound little penis.
Profoundly tiny penis.
Profoundly tiny penis. So, he's upset, but it's all in the heat of the moment. This is things people say shit they don't mean in the heat of the moment. They're going back and forth arguing, saying, you know, you want this and you want that, and it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. It's both of their fucking faults.
It's everybody's
fault in a marriage, generally. Unless someone's an abuser, It's probably everybody's fault. So, Debbie tells David that she's going to leave him. She says, I'm leaving you. I'm not doing this anymore. She packs like a duffel bag and she takes off.
Yeah.
Runs out the door with a duffel bag.
That's it?
Takes off.
This is me and a half house and 3 babies?
Me, half house, 3 babies.
Oh, my God. Come back.
Please?
Don't do this.
She's got a blue Ford, and she took off, and he's like, well, there's that. And he said he watched her out the window. He figured that she was going to her older sister's house, who he fucking hates. Her older sister's name is Virginia. Her older sister, you know, is an older sister. She looks out for her younger sister, and she's, according to David, kind of a pain in the ass in the relationship here. She says that he thinks that maybe if every time they got into an argument that, you know, if she didn't just go bitch about it to her sister, maybe our marriage would be better. So
now he's got 2 wives.
Yeah, he's making the irrational jump to, you know, Virginia is causing my marriage to be bad when there's a lot of factors causing your marriage to be bad. That's why marriages fall apart. It's not one thing.
No,
it's never one thing. I mean, it can be, but it's most of the time it's cracks in the foundation.
It's a compound,
and then the second floor falls down onto your house because it
wasn't put on right.
You put enough trusses on there because you couldn't afford them. That's the problem. So he hated Virginia, though, the whole fucking time. He said that she was just all up in their shit, basically.
Well, also, Virginia's got the added stressor of she's her baby sister, and she went through a brutal life.
Exactly, yeah.
She a brutal thing early in her life.
And Virginia was probably the one there for her.
She treated her like a mother.
And now she's
the mother-in-law at 35 years old.
Not even. She's in her 20s. She's in late 20s.
Right, but now she's the same age as him.
And she's the mother-in-law.
Right.
So it's very weird.
You're 6 months older than me, and you're telling me how to run my life?
Yeah, well, fuck you.
Right.
So he didn't like her, she didn't like him. That was that. We don't like each other here. So he says that they've had fights over Virginia where he says she causes problems, and Debbie's like, no, not her fucking fault. That causes problems. It's you, and it's not her. And basically, he thought that anything that Virginia could do to make him look like shit, she would do in front of Debbie, and she would say like, well, that's because he can't do what he's supposed to do, and he's not a real man, and shit like that.
Debbie high fives, or they drink wine, and he slinks off to the other room.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, and he says that this is bullshit. Now she's going to go over there, complain about the fucking electric bill to the sister, and she's going to tell the whole family that David can't support. You know, he's thinking this, and it's a mess basically here. So David goes and borrows money from his mother for the electric bill because you got to get the electricity back on. It's July in Alabama. Right. You need AC, and it's probably in the upper 80s in the house and hot and humid and sticky.
Imagine.
It's disgusting. His mom lets him borrow the money, which is good. And I think his mom's disappointed in him a little bit because why are you putting yourself in this position to where you can't afford a lifestyle that you shouldn't be trying to live if you can't afford it? It just doesn't make sense. You shouldn't be putting additions on your house and joining country clubs and shit if you're not making that kind of money. Yeah. Just, you're not doing it yet. Don't do that. But they don't get it though. So anyway, that night, Evelyn, the neighbor, had been watching the children while this fight was going on, and while Debbie left, she was hanging out with her kids. So she returns with the Stewart's children about 9:00 at night here. There's an alley across the backyard. She walks them across the alley. David was sitting outside waiting for them, expecting them to be back around that time. So he's outside waiting for the kids. He told the kids to stay outside with him for a little while because the baby was still there, and he said the baby was inside, and she was trying to let the baby sleep. So let's not make a lot of noise. Why don't we stay out here and hang out in the yard for a little bit of, catch some lightning bugs. Yeah. It's July.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. So after that, David and the children went to sleep.
Plus, we can use them for light.
Plus, it's dark out here. Who's got a wiffle bat? This is going to be fun.
We don't have any electricity in there, so catch the lightning bugs so we can see our way to the toilet.
We're going to jar them, and we're going to put them all around the house. That's what we're going to do. It's a very old school technique.
It's how we're going to get from the bedroom to the bathroom.
And we hope at least half of them are lit up at all times so we can actually see. Hold on. There they go again. Okay, there's the bathroom. So they go to sleep. David and the kids go to sleep a little before 10:00. And that's about that. Now Debbie walks in about little after 10:00, right after they had laid down to go to sleep. David laid down to go to sleep. He's awakened by Debbie coming in the house. She told him at that point that she had drove around, she did a lot of thinking, and she has decided that she's taking the girls to go live in Texas with her sister.
Oh, no.
She's taking all the girls, and she's fucking leaving. Yeah. We're going 2 states over, man. 3 states over.
Several.
Yeah. No, Alabama. Yeah. So 2 states over.
It's a long ride.
It's a while.
Yeah.
So it's not something where he can go every weekend and see him, probably. Right. So this is an issue. Now, he says, obviously, I don't want you to do that. And she says, well, I'm doing it. And he thinks like, okay, it's been a long day. We'll go to sleep in the morning. We'll sort this out, because after a long day like this, especially if there's fighting and she went and talked to her sister, she might be all gassed up.
Right.
Might be a little better if, it's all calms down for a little while.
So let's go to sleep and have the worst night of sleep ever.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning
and argue more.
Have a cup of coffee and really get this going.
And know that our day is fucked. No, tomorrow's going to suck.
I do not miss those sleeps at all.
No, that's a terrible.
It's the worst sleep ever.
Yeah, that's bad stuff.
You wake up with a stomach ache.
It's true. Nothing is better than a good divorce, as we've said many times. Nothing's better. People say a good steak or a good whiskey.
Fuck your whiskey.
Nothing's better than a good divorce. Nothing.
I'll eat a hot dog and have a divorce over your great steak.
That's what I'm saying. I'll sleep on an air mattress with a hole in it, as you know, for months and months and be smiling the whole time. So the next morning, he wakes up. Debbie's not in bed. He's like, okay, she goes sleep on the couch. She being dramatic, sleeping on the couch or whatever. So he goes around. Her car's gone. Her shit's gone. He says there's like a bag's worth of her stuff is gone, like a suitcase worth of her stuff. They had some, she apparently had some loose cash, some cash that she had hidden away, like a rainy day fund. I don't know why she didn't pay the electric bill with this.
That'd be nice.
But
it's raining like a motherfucker.
It's raining literally in the house. We have no roof or lights, so we should probably get one of the two, right?
It's pouring sugar.
Yeah. So she apparently took that money as well, and she was gone in the morning. So he's like, all right. The kids are all still there.
Really?
All the kids are home. She's like...
She dipped.
She took off. So he's like, okay, what did she do? Maybe this is like last night. She's going to go take off. She's going to come home this afternoon. Whatever. I'll wait. What can I do but fucking wait? Back then, you couldn't call her on a cell phone.
Right.
If someone left, that was it. You called around to where they might be. Right. And if they were at none of those places, you didn't know where they were. Period.
Fuck.
That's it. Didn't know where they were. Gone. So he waits for her. She doesn't come home all day.
Oh, no.
All night.
Oh, no.
She doesn't come home. He waits for 3 weeks.
What?
She doesn't come home. 3 weeks of
no communication.
Debbie, no communication, no nothing, just gone. Took a suitcase worth of clothes and some cash, and that was it, gone.
He slept solid that night.
Yeah, gone.
My God.
Imagine that. He was, oof, boy, I woke up.
All refreshed.
Yeah,
Can't
feeling
wait
good.
to get into this fight.
Sunshine coming right onto my bed because I got no ceiling. All right, it was going good.
Woke up at sun up because the sun's in his face.
Hope sun's up. All right. Yeah, that's a good time to get
up.
up.
So am I.
That's right. That's why I was going to bed before 10 o'clock, too. The sun's going to be up at 5. I better better lay down. This is going to be a rough night for me. So she's gone. Her car is not gone. Her car is still there.
Really?
But she's not there.
With a suitcase and the money.
And the money, but no car.
And she walked in.
And she took off.
Okay.
So, and no kids. Which is interesting.
I mean, if you're going to walk, you don't want those.
No, but if someone picked her up.
Oh, okay.
Or she got a cab maybe with the money. Or on top of that, most of the time, this is weird for her to leave and then not even take, because her whole thing is I'm taking the girls and I'm moving to here. Not I'm moving here and you take the girls. That wasn't part of it. So one of them isn't even his.
That's a good point.
So, she's probably going to want to take that one, I assume, at least.
At least JoJo.
At least JoJo. So anyway, he waits 3 weeks for her. Finally, after 3 weeks, on July 31st, 1984, he decides to report her missing.
What?
Reports her missing. He's like, I don't know, can't get a hold of her. She has not made any contact.
Yeah.
Her family members say they don't know where she is. Her sister.
So he's called them.
Oh, yeah, he's called that was the first day.
And they didn't. They said
I don't know. Well, we don't know where she is. We haven't heard from her. So he thinks at first that they're lying to him to keep her away from him. That's what he thinks. So he's like, all right, we'll play this fucking game. All right. But then
Virginia didn't call either, though.
But they were calling each other. Like, do you know where he is? Where the fuck is she? She at your goddamn house? Tell her to get her ass home. She's got kids and shit like that. And Virginia's like, I haven't fucking heard from her. And he's like, yeah, bullshit. You haven't heard from her. I'm sure she's sitting next to you right now. And you're full of shit. And he's telling Virginia, tell her to be a fucking mother and come home. This is bullshit. Like, you can't just abandon your kids like this. That's the whole argument. She's gone for 3 weeks. That's that. She said, she left home. She took the cash. She took that. That people asked him about it. He told all the neighbors and the family that she's had, severe postpartum depression.
Right.
And she's been kind of erratic, basically. And this is obviously the most erratic thing she's ever done.
Yeah.
Said, I went to sleep. She was right there. She threatened to leave. I woke up and she was gone, but the kids are still here. So we don't know. David sinks into a depression at this point. He feels like he's been left. He tells everybody that he's very, very depressed and his wife is gone and he doesn't know what to do with himself and he can't find her. And how much must he hate her? She hate him that she won't even fucking contact him to divorce him even. Nothing's just ghosted him. Usually your wife doesn't ghost you.
That's not a thing.
You have 3 kids. Where are you going? This is crazy, man. And usually mothers don't ghost kids like that too, especially ones who maybe if they're a crackhead or something, but not if they're...
I can see ghosting your husband if he's an abusive piece of shit.
Oh, take off.
Call a lawyer and be like, you handle this shit.
Fine.
I'm out.
That's
I'm never
great.
talking to him ever again.
You should.
But mom rarely ghosts the children.
Yeah.
Sometimes dad does. Rarely mom.
Well, oftentimes dad does. That's a very common thing. But oftentimes you don't hear mom went out for a pack of cigarettes and never came home. That you don't hear. They don't hear that
mom
story
is
as
never
often.
Off for 30 years looking for ice cream sandwiches.
Dad went off for some fucking Newports and didn't come home. That's a different thing. So, he sinks into a depression. He needs something to do, so he decides that, I don't know if he thinks that maybe Virginia will see through the stars that he's doing this, or maybe if he does this and then she comes home, she'll be happy with him then. Yeah. But he says, I'm going to make the pond that she wanted. Or Debbie, maybe if Debbie comes home, he says, I'm going to make the pond. The pond that she wanted. Maybe
he's going to do it?
He's going to do it now because he's bored. He's got nothing to do. I guess he finally finished the house waiting on her, and then he couldn't just leave it half empty.
Yeah.
Eventually he's going to finish it. But he's like, I'll dig the pond. That's what she wanted. Maybe she'll be happy if she comes home and sees I dug a pond. She'll go, oh, he loves me and he did stuff for me.
Like the guy from Sweet Home Alabama.
Yes. That's what he's going to try to do, dude. It's fucking sad, man.
Wow.
So he hires a laborer, a guy named Virgil Key, to help him dig out the pond. Because 4x8 pond that you're going to drop, because he's going to put concrete under it. So 4x8's pretty good
put a couple
size, and it's got to be a few feet deep to get the concrete. Right. So, you want some help there. Yeah. That's that heavy Alabama soil.
Yeah.
It's
that
moist.
Red clay it's mucky.
It's like shoveling wet snow. Right. It's very difficult, I would imagine. It's not like Arizona.
It's a heavy shovel load every time.
Yeah, it's not dust.
No.
Not at all. So Virgil helps him dig out the pond. He pours the concrete himself, or cement himself, and does all of that. Fills the pond, puts some fish in there, some goldfish or koi or whatever the fuck they do. I think they're big goldfish.
Yeah.
Landscapes all around the pond. Very nice. Puts like flowers and shit and bushes. Like, look at it.
It's great.
Like that's his bat signal.
Right.
This pond. Like his wife's going to go, I sense a pond. Hold on. I must return home. There's a pond built in my yard. I don't know what it is. Right. She saw the pond signal in the sky, and she went. Also, he decides at this point, because he's still in contact with authorities, he's asking them, have you made any goddamn progress? Where the fuck is my wife? Have you found her yet? He talks about private investigators and things. He has to find his wife. So he petitions the probate court requesting that Debbie be committed to the Department of Mental Health. That way, if she was found, because he alleged that she had a mental health problem, was a threat to herself, because he figured that way they would look for her. Yeah. And if they actually came across her, they would actually hold her.
And then they put her at his job, and he's got her all day.
There you go. That's the thing. At least she'd be in that system. Yeah. But he's thinking otherwise, she's a missing person, but she's an adult. Right. So if the cops find her, she can go, I don't want to go home. And they go, well, have a good one. And she drives away. So this way, they'll catch her and like put a fucking, a butterfly net on her. At least.
Put some bear traps out with some Debbie bait.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Debbie. I put like some fancy fixtures out there. I put some like lighting fixtures that go above the sink in there. I think that's what she likes. I'm going to attract her with it.
Put a bunch of drywall by one.
Oh, it's pretty good. I put some marble countertop up there. That white shit that everybody likes now. Oh, I'm going to put that right up there, boy. She's going to love it. Just a square. She knows what I mean.
The receipt of a koi pond.
Oh, you know how it is. Just a picture of a koi pond.
That'll get her.
So he's trying, though. He's trying to petition these people. He tells police, though, finally, about a year and a half goes by before he contacts police, excited and, kind of out of his mind a little bit, telling police that he's received collect phone calls from Debbie, and she asked about the kids quickly and then hung up on him. Are the kids okay? Is this going on? And then she wouldn't let him say anything else, but if the kids were okay, and then she hung up on him. This happened several times, he said. He says he has the phone records to show that their calls are being placed in New Orleans. So he's like, she's got to be in New Orleans. She's making collect phone calls from New Orleans to me. Okay. So the police then, not only the Alabama police, the New Orleans Police Department searched the French Quarter for her. I mean, there's flyers and posters distributed all over the city. Yeah. Her family comes to town. He comes to New Orleans to try to do this. I mean, it's an all APB on her in New Orleans. They think she's,
where the fuck is she?
She's down there. They can never find her. Yeah. They never find her in New Orleans. I don't know if she's really good at hiding or what here.
Black magic.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is.
That's Southern Creole shit.
Also, you could change your name relatively easily in 1985. Yeah. You didn't have to be...
And in New Orleans, you can be anybody you want.
Oh, you can get a fake ID in New Orleans, no problem. Probably now, but back then, and on every corner, you could probably get a fake ID. Before it was like, terroristic to do that.
Right.
So...
I mean, they get their own currency in like gator bucks and shit.
They have their own currency in beads for tits.
That is true.
That's a currency.
That is true.
So let me get this straight. You give me worthless plastic and I show you my tits? That's the deal. Currency? Great. Sounds good. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's the strangest transaction.
You're going to give me trash, and I'm going to show you these amazing things?
Yeah, and I'm going to...
How does this work out for me?
I'm going to hang these from my fucking mirror in my bedroom for the next 25 years, watch them get dusty.
But first, I'm going to wear them around my neck all night, showing other people that I did something horrible for you.
Yeah.
I did something great for you.
I made you real
and everybody
happy.
else is going to know about it.
Oh, yeah. But I have like 8 strands, so that means my tits are fantastic. So, take that.
Oh, Christ.
So, David, during all of this, let's find out how he's coping. He does an odd thing here. David's not a perfectly innocent person in all this. David...
oh, boy. God. I'm riveted.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. About 6 months after Debbie had disappeared... He's obviously playing the, hurt husband but he's also has, his needs and wants as well. and he decides that his newest relationship to satisfy his needs and wants will be with who, Jimmy?
Yeah.
The 15-year-old babysitter.
Stop. What?
15-year-old babysitter. He starts banging the teenage babysitter.
That's illegal.
In Alabama, it's probably iffy. It's probably iffy. They're like, that ain't even your cousin, pal. Get it out of her. Let's go. If y'all were related, by first cousin or closer, we could let it slide. But y'all can't be fucking doing that.
As long as it's a straight relationship, it's probably fine.
It's probably you can fuck your cousin at any age. That's within a family, and that's none of our goddamn business. We don't get involved in family business. You understand now? But this here. Yeah, I ain't even related.
How old is this guy right now? 34?
What is this, 1985? Yeah, he's at 33, 34 years old. 15-year-old girl.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I get being lonely. I get even desiring female companionship because you think your wife left you. Especially, he doesn't think she was murdered and put in a river. He thinks she's just running around New Orleans having fun. So he's like, but 15?
Right.
I get that she's there, but still.
25% of the population is single with children.
That's what I mean.
Dude,
get out there.
Fuck like crazy.
Yeah, and he's got a fucking babysitter. Right. That's the other thing. He works long hours, and he has the kids, 3 little kids. So it's got to be hard to meet people, but not 15.
No,
that's not the answer.
1 in 4 puts out for sure, though.
That's not the answer.
Fuck,
yeah, definitely. You're getting it. So yeah, he's sexually involved with the 15-year-old babysitter, leading police on a hunt in around New Orleans for his wife. His financial problems become worse. So even without the wife there, they become worse to the point where he needs to claim bankruptcy.
A bankrupt pedophile.
Bankrupt, pedophilic, sort of, I don't even know what the fuck to call him.
He's certainly a pedophile.
15 is a pedophile. That's a pedophile.
What a horrible human being.
Not a good guy. Yeah, and he's got 3 little girls with him, which I don't like. Not that he's going to molest his own kids, but he might. And
who
I don't
knows
care.
At this point? We don't know.
Either way, that's not a great role model.
Right.
That's not who I want them growing up looking at. Oh, daddy fucks 15-year-olds.
He's certainly willing to fuck somebody else's children.
So when I'm 15, I guess it's all right for me to fuck 40-year-olds. No, it's not.
No.
That's not an example you teach your kids.
No.
So neighborhood rumors start to spring up. Not about the babysitter thing. He keeps that kind of under wraps, actually, because the babysitter comes over to watch the kids, and people go, oh, that poor man, he's got 3 kids. Obviously, he needs a babysitter. They don't know he's,
oh boy,
fucking her in the mouth on top of it all. So it's like the rumors start to come. People start to have rumors of, I bet he killed his wife. I bet that's where she is.
Hell yeah.
So it's a very Burbs, like the Burbs situation, where literally all the neighbors stare at the house like, oh, she disappeared. I bet they all whisper and shit. They stand outside
for soft ground.
Yeah.
Like,
no, seriously.
We should dig this up in the middle of the night.
Funny you say that, because a neighbor named Maggie Bowen, for the 2 years before that, was trying to convince the police that he had killed his wife and that Debbie was buried under the fish pond.
No.
She's in the fish pond. And they're like, well, she disappeared like 6 months before or like a month, 2 months before the fish pond went in. So that's probably not right. And she's like, she's in the fish pond. She would call the cops like once a month going, I'm telling you, she's in the fish pond. I know it.
She's a nightmare.
Come over here and dig it up. She said, this is to the press, to the Huntsville Times, quote, I watched from the back window and saw him digging a hole in the backyard. He poured concrete at night. That's the thing. He poured it at night. Who pours concrete at night?
I don't know. A guy that just wasted all fucking day digging a hole.
Not only that, a guy who works 12 hours a day and has 3 small children.
Right.
Like, the kids are asleep. Now is the time to pour concrete, I guess.
I don't know. I wasted all day digging this, and the truck came at night.
That's it. So
when else I can tell him, keep that drum spinning and keep that
no, he did it all on his own. His own concrete. He had no truck or anything. He did it on his own. So, yeah, now the cop said, we suspected there may have been foul play, but had no probable cause to get a search warrant to dig up somebody's pond. That's kind of a big deal. And he said that we were denied permission to do so. I was like, I just fucking built this pond.
You're gonna destroy it?
Digging it up.
What if she comes back while you guys are mid-dig?
Yeah, I'm like, I swear it was beautiful.
Told you fuckers I didn't kill her. Look what they did to your shit, baby.
I had the nicest pond here. It was 12 by 20. It was amazing. It was a beautiful pond. Looks like it's a tinier one now, but it was huge when I did it. It's wild. So many fish in there. You don't even know.
They killed them all.
I made it saltwater. That's how good it was. Their fish were amazing. Bright colors. And
there was a whale in
mesmerizing. That guy just ate it. Raw. He just put it in his mouth. I was fucking pissed. So August 19th, 1987 comes by. It has been 3 years.
Long ones.
Yeah. Outside of the New Orleans calls that caused the whole, flyers and all that shit and the search for her, there's been no sign of Debbie anywhere. So, August 19th, 1987. At this point, his house has been foreclosed on and taken away from him. Yes, his financial problems are so bad. He claimed bankruptcy. His house has been taken away from him.
That's not going to impress that 15-year-old.
No, not at all. So a young couple bought the house that he was in.
Yeah.
And the police asked the new people, listen, weird request. Do you mind if we dig up your fish pond? We'll pay for it.
Yeah.
They said, we'll pay for it. The guy said, quote, this is the sheriff said, quote, I learned Monday that the house had changed hands, and I went to the new owner and I asked if I could dig up his yard and I'd pay for it. And he said, yes. So, yeah, he's like, I'll pay for it. They're like, oh, fuck it, I don't care. Whatever. If you fix it, I guess I don't give a shit. So they do. They said that they didn't even, the chief of police here, Police Chief Frank Schaefer Jr., he said he didn't even ever think of, as David as a suspect in anything or anything like that. And anything. He said,
lady's
quote,
still calling. We just want to shut her up.
Yeah. Well, he didn't run or do anything like that. So, but whenever they talked to him, they didn't get a real good answer out of him. Like he said, quote, one reason he didn't run ever is that he maintained that she was missing and would say, quote, you're embarrassing me in front of the neighbors and so forth when we would talk to him about it. So nothing happened. He's like, you're not going to dig up my yard. Everyone's going to, they already whisper. Yeah. You're going to dig up my fucking yard like, now they're, look at them all. It's going to be terrible. So, there was Mrs. Bowen, though. She was standing right there while they got to, finally, she's getting her show here. She's like, oh, here it is here.
Got a pickaxe helping.
Officers, she's out there, we can do it. They emptied the goldfish pond. 2 feet of concrete, by the way.
That's thick.
That's a lot of concrete, right?
James, that's too much.
It's a lot of 2 feet of concrete.
You don't need that for a pool.
I was going to say, you don't need that probably for a foundation of a house. Do you need 2 feet of concrete? I don't think so.
No.
The slabs out here are like, 8 inches tall maybe? If that, 6?
16 maybe? It's not
2 feet.
2 feet.
That's a lot of concrete. That's the best.
Oh, my God.
The best. Guy builds a hell of a fish pond.
He does.
That thing is going nowhere.
He's got rebar in it.
That's probably. Jesus
Good
Christ.
Lord.
So they had to break through 2 feet of concrete to try to dig through this thing, which was not easy. It took about an hour to break through it, even with the equipment they had. And when they finally break through it, first thing they see is a plastic bag.
Oh, no.
They start pulling out different plastic bags. Here, quote, officers found various parts of body wrapped in paper under the pond after they'd been digging for about an hour.
No.
The body was chopped into pieces, just like you would do to a hog or a steer, one of the police said. Yeah, they believe it's probably Debbie Stewart, but they bring it in to check for dental records, and it is Debbie Stewart.
God damn it.
Yeah, bag contains, the first bag contained a torso, another one had her head, and various parts of the body. There was about 3 bags there, and the remains were preserved pretty well, they said, too, actually, because they had been, he put lime over the parts, and they'd been wrapped in plastic and newspaper, so he kind of mummified her a little bit, making it a little easier to see everything, but horrifying. Can you imagine that neighbor? Yes!
I fucking told you!
Fuck! Yes! Sure, her husband's never going to be able to tell her anything again. She's like, I am fucking wrong. I'm right about everything. I was right about Debbie. Trust me. God damn it.
She changed her fucking resume.
Yes.
What, the crime scene investigator?
Oh, she joined the force. She's on first 48 now.
She ran for mayor and
won probably.
Tried to be police chief.
Jesus Christ.
She's smart.
Yep. They did the autopsy, and yes, it is Deborah Stewart, as Deborah Harrison Stewart here.
Oh, damn it.
They said they were always a little bit suspicious of David.
Of course, they say that now.
Yeah, I mean, we always were a little suspicious here. It was hard to determine the cause of death, but the first cause they thought was possibly beheading, because that'll do it.
Or de-arming.
Basically any part you take off. Belegging. But the head's off. That's a pretty good one.
Certainly betorsoed.
We figured
that'll do it.
I don't know if she was alive beforehand, but once her head came off, we figure she's definitely dead. So we're gonna cause that to jump off one. Jesus Christ.
Way to go, Perry Mason.
Good God. Thanks, medical people. Holy shit.
Unbelievable.
But after further investigation, they show that she probably died after a blow from a blunt instrument, is what they think. And they arrest David. And they said, well, it's probably him, I would imagine. Yeah. Buried, he probably did that. The police chief said, quote, there are indications of motive, but right now we're still investigating as to the motive and are reluctant to disclose it. So
where did the kids go? Did they go with him to wherever the fuck his next house was?
Yeah, they had were with him. Right? Yeah, he was.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
He was taking good care of the kids the whole time. There was never any problem about that. He was even fucking greasing the babysitter.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, so they bring David in. They're going to question him because, he's kind of caught red-handed here. They question him. The sergeant that talks to him first, Jep Talent is his name. J-E-P, Jep.
What?
I don't know what that's even short for. It's not Jeb, which is a Jebediah. Jep.
Is it Jasper? And
Jepalonius?
I don't know.
Jep Talent.
It's a shit name. That's what that is.
Yeah. He said that he at first didn't tell David that the body was found.
Oh.
He didn't tell him at first. And then he was just saying, I want you to confess. I know you did something with your wife. And he said, Stuart wouldn't confess. That's finally he said, hey, David, quote, do you know what we've been doing today? Which is uh-oh. That's an uh-oh line. Whoops. Shit. Do I want to?
I'm fucking exhausted, David. I don't even want to talk to you.
And then he just says, quote, we dug up your fish pond, which that's, if someone has a body under a fish pond and they said, we dug up your fish pond, you're going to go,
oh no.
So he said David became slightly nervous, but still didn't say anything, remained silent, just started to look a little uncomfortable at that point.
How deep did you go?
Did you get... the concrete's pretty thick, right? No reason to go deeper than that.
Did you get deeper than 2 feet?
You don't want to go deeper than 2 feet. So he said that this is the Jep Talent said, quote, I said, David, guess what we found under the concrete? We found Debbie. So Talent then said, quote, he dropped his head and I told him that we had found her cut in pieces. Yeah. So, yeah.
Hey, David, found Oliver.
Yeah. So this is what happened. He ends up going, all right, fine, you got me.
Yeah.
And he fucking gives it up.
We know.
But he says exactly what happened.
Okay.
He gives a full confession here.
Oh, no. What does he say?
Okay. This is from the, basically, she is mad at him about the electric bill. Remember that?
Yeah.
We'll start from there. Okay. An argument ensued here. She apparently accused him of being weak, like I said, not demanding a bigger salary. She told him she was going to leave him, and she left, like we said. She took off with the athletic bag and then came back. Now, she came back. David was sitting outside waiting for the kids. They went upstairs there. All the kids were asleep. David and the kids went to bed before 10 o'clock. He woke up by Debbie coming in. She told him she decided to take the girls and go to Texas. So at that point, David said, when she said, I'm taking the kids to live with not Virginia, my other sister in Texas. I'm taking them. I'm leaving you. David said he had been reading a book and he just took it and threw it at Debbie and hit her in the head with it.
And that killed her?
No.
Yeah.
No. That was the beginning of it.
Oh.
He took the book and fucking chucked it at her pretty close and hit her in the head with the book. So she had been hit in the head. This only pissed her off more, obviously. And so then he picked up a jump rope that was lying on the floor that belonged to his middle daughter. His middle daughter's apparently an excellent jump roper and was basically like neighborhood jump rope champion.
Awesome. And
takes her jump rope that was lying on the floor and strangles Debbie to death with it. Strangles her to death. Now, from the movement and the kind of the violence of this whole thing, she's bleeding from her mouth and nose. So he moves her to the shower in the bathroom by his bedroom there, and she's like, fuck, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Okay, killed my wife. She's dead. She's in the bathroom. Now what do I do? He says, fuck, I don't want the kids to be taken away from me. Tell you what I'm going to do. He takes her upstairs into the unfinished bathroom, which is up in the second floor there, which they're using and shit now. It's whatever, but this bathroom's still unfinished, by the way. Takes 3 years later. She was right. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Fucking 3 years, fix the bathroom.
They usually
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. So, he said, he knew he couldn't dispose of the whole body. He's like, what the fuck am I going to do with the whole body? Yeah. He said, I can carry her. She's not that heavy, but, she's small, but she's not that small.
Right.
If only I could get her smaller. So he used utility razors, like box cutters.
Oh, my God.
to cut through her flesh, and then a hacksaw to cut through the bone once he got to the bone.
He is horrible.
Dude.
That is so personal.
That is...
You got to spend a lot of time.
That's what... I've heard, like, mob hitmen doing that in tubs, and these guys are like, they've killed 40 people, and they're like, they don't give a fuck, and they're hardened. For someone to be able to do this to their wife, whoa, man, holy shit, to anybody.
When you said that
I don't hunt because I don't want to do that to an animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that to a person even more.
I mean, I would hunt if I'm going to eat it, but I don't know that I
don't want to hack it up.
I don't want to.
I don't want to fucking hack it up. No, I want to eat the food. I'm good with eating it.
I don't want to open it and
I just don't want to
separate it.
As I said earlier, I'm not into gore. Like, that's just not my thing. So I don't. Wow. So he uses a hacksaw to cut through her bones. When he was finished, he dismembered her into 8 pieces. So he cut her up.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think he quartered.
Went to the elbows,
probably,
and the knees,
or probably the knees because legs are longer.
Yeah.
So I would imagine
that's awful, man.
Your shin and your thigh would be about as long as your torso.
Yeah.
Like separately, if you know what I mean, but not together, they'd be longer.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes.
Yep. That's what it is. Legs, I bet.
Oh, what a
torso with the up. Yep. Yep. So anyway, 8 pieces here. So next, he wrapped each piece in newspaper separately and placed each of them in plastic bags and took the bags up there, had them up in the upstairs bathroom, locked the bathroom door, and then checked on the kids, went to bed. That's what he did. That was the deal because this was at night. So he went to make sure the kids didn't wake up, see any of that. Nope, didn't see me hacking up your mom. All right, go to bed.
This is top 5 worst ways to dismember somebody that we've covered.
This is fucking horrible, especially personally.
And your wife.
This is fucking terrible. So he then the next morning took the kids to his aunt's house and he watched the kids, and then he tried to figure out how the fuck do I get rid of this body. So he said he took about 3 weeks to figure out what to do. So he left the body just up there in parts, decomposing in bags in his bathroom for 3 weeks, and then he said, fish pond. Fucking fish pond.
Yeah.
Boom. So when the time came to pour the cement, that's when he dismissed his laborer, Virgil, from the job. And the guy was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I got this too.
And he's like, no, I got this. I don't need you anymore. I can't afford you or whatever. So, yeah, that's what it was. He said just before daybreak, so, very early he woke up. He moved her body from the bathroom.
8 trips up the stairs.
Yep, down to the hole and put them all in the hole where he dug the fish pond. Covered it with cement that day, finished the pond, and from that time on, the fish pond was always extremely nicely landscaped, too, just so it didn't look like it was like in disrepair. It looked like a nice little thing, and that was it. New Orleans, how the fuck did he do that?
Right.
Well, he got a friend of his named Odell Crudden, who lives in New Orleans, to call him collect from various payphones around the French Quarter, so that when his phone bill came in, he could go to the cops and go, look, French Quarter, Debbie's calling from.
He sucks.
Yeah, he really fucking sucks. And the family even believed him because they were all down there together looking for her.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty crazy. He goes to court and, obviously, he pleads innocent by reason of mental illness.
What illness?
Okay. No. What fucking mental illness do you have? You're an asshole.
You put her away and then you fucked a 15-year-old.
Yeah, you're an asshole, but that's not crazy.
No.
You can be a dick and not be crazy.
You're an awful person is
you're
what
just
you are.
A bad person. So court doesn't start till September 1988. So this is over 4 years after this happened even. He wants a change of publicity, a change of venue due to publicity, because obviously this is big fucking news around this place. I mean,
and that old lady's been telling everybody.
Oh, and wife found in every article from that time. She's in it going, I knew it. I told everybody. I saw him digging the hole. I mean, her quotes were in every single article, but this was really big news around this area because it's, it's interesting.
This would be big news here in Phoenix.
Anywhere.
And there's 4 million.
Found in the fish pond. It's fucking crazy. So he argued that this case presented an unusual situation. It attracted widespread publicity. And he said that, there's gruesome and bizarre facts surrounding the case that people hear. It's too much. This community where it occurred is relatively small, it says. And the fact that many people in the community knew the victim also doesn't help either. And the fact that it was widely covered in news media, including the Associated Press and the National Enquirer talked about this.
No.
You've been on every supermarket rack at every aisle in America. So people know of this.
It's outside of America, too.
And that's what I mean.
Everything that borders us. Yeah. Canada knows all about you.
I just figure there won't be any juries. We're not going to have any trials in Vancouver,
it's
probably.
Outside of our jurisdiction.
A little outside of the jury. We're going down to the Caribbean for this trial. It's going to be a tropical wonderland. So, but the judge says, quote, the existence of widespread publicity alone does not indicate that a defendant will not get a fair trial. The law focuses on the impartiality of the trial jury, and he denies it. He denies it. He said that that's why you have voir dire, is why you ask the jurors if they're comfortable making a decision based on that. She said that they asked the jurors if anything they've read or heard would influence their verdict. Record indicates that no prospective juror indicated that he or she could not render a fair and impartial verdict based on even if they saw everything about it in the newspaper. Who the fuck in public would say, no, I'm not nuanced enough of a thinker to separate what I've heard in that? Even in private, people aren't going to say that. Right. But this is like an open court challenge. You're sitting there, there's 50 people in the court, and they're like, are you an adult enough to separate what you... Of course people are going to say they can, but that's in there.
How close-minded of a fuck are you?
Dude, if you read that... Back then, the newspaper sitting on the shitter in the morning, and you're like, God damn, this motherfucker buried his wife. Then you went out and you went, did you read that article about that guy buried his wife in the fish pond? And everybody talked about it at work. I'm sorry, you think that guy buried his wife in the fish pond. That's not really fair. But whatever. They say, eat shit and whatever. So next up, he says, look, I'm crazy. I'm fucking loony here. So I would like a mental health exam, at least, to show that I'm not all there. And the judge says, no, think you're good.
No
exam.
I don't like that.
Think you're okay there. Yep.
Yeah.
He said that, they said, quote, the appellant at the time, later on, when he's actually, after he gets convicted, which he's gonna.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert here. As if you didn't know it already. They said he presented absolutely no testimony that he was suffering from a mental disease or defect at the time of the commission of the crime that would support his not guilty by reason of insanity defense. The only testimony the appellant put on in support of his motion for a psychiatric evaluation was that of two local attorneys. Clint Brown, one of them, testified that it had been his experience as a practicing attorney that an examination from Taylor Hardin Secure Medical Facility was thorough and furnished the court with a detailed report of a person's psychiatric history. And Richard Adams, who was another lawyer who'd been involved in his case, said that he did not think that he was crazy, but he did need a psychiatric evaluation.
I do too.
So two lukewarm endorsements there. Judge denies it, though. Doesn't even give him I don't understand why you don't do that. Especially in a murder trial of something this big. Why would you want to leave a rock?
Don't do anything
to be turned. You know what? Go ahead and do it.
Give it all.
You're not going to fucking beat the system here.
Not with this.
They found your wife dismembered under your pond, and you admitted to doing it.
The pond that she wanted.
Yeah,
which was so personal.
That's what I mean. That was personal. Yeah. Like, oh, you like a pond so fucking much?
I'll give you a fucking
You
pond.
Can live under it. Yeah, that was real fucking weird.
That's fucking cold.
It is cold. Yeah, it's very cold. So that's like what's his name? His mother's tongue that he buried there and all that shit. His mother vocal
Kemper.
box. Yeah, Ed Kemper. Yeah.
Oh boy,
that's what it reminds me of. Yeah,
and facing the window.
Yeah, it's that
so that she can see him.
That's exactly what it is. So the detective, Officer Talent, he comes on the stand. Old Jep here, he says that, he wasn't coercive. It was all free will. He didn't force a confession, because also one of the things David's saying is they told him that he was going to burn and he was going to fry and he's going to go to the electric chair and all that, which of course they said that. This isn't a capital case, though.
It's not.
No, it's not a capital case, because the way he described it, it's quick. It's like a second degree. It's not
heat of the moment kind of thing.
It's not a planned out thing. He didn't have the hole dug already or anything like that.
The only thing planned is really the disposal. But I mean, at that point, you kind of got a plan.
Yeah, at that point, there's got to be something. You can't just go, well, I'll leave it up in the bathroom and
the other cold-hearted
keep the door locked.
Is using your daughter's toy that she probably used for a long time after that.
Yeah, I really hope he threw it out afterwards.
Every time she's in the front yard jumping rope, you don't feel like a piece of garbage?
Right? Jesus Christ. I really hope he threw it out.
You'd hope so.
Pray he fucking threw it out. I don't know where it went.
I don't know.
It's gone.
I found it in two pieces.
Weird,
so I just
right? Threw it away. I'll get you a new one tomorrow. Oh boy. So the detective here, he further testified that he didn't recall whether or not he made a statement about frying him. He did say that he was positive that if it was made, it wasn't made to threaten or coerce him. It was just to, talk shit, basically. They said, they asked him, when the talk about possible punishment in the case and whose idea, who brought it up, and he said that was David. He asked what he could expect. This was after he gave the statement. So he said, David said, what am I going to get? And he goes, I bet they're going to fry you, pal, or some shit like that, which is just shit talking, basically.
That's just dunking on him.
Yeah, he said, quote, you could tell that it shook David up a little bit. He didn't show any emotional breakdown or anything like that.
Yeah.
They said no. When he said that, no. They said, did you ask him this before he wanted to talk to you? And he said no. He did this afterwards, basically. So he said, he'd asked him, do you have anything to tell me? And he said no. And he continued, and he said, well, we got Debbie out from under the fish pond. And after that, he said, well, I guess I better talk to you.
Yeah.
Which is obviously. They asked him, the detective, if they told David that he videotaped the excavation, and they said they didn't tell him that. They told him that there was no discussion of a videotape or anything like that, because they're trying to say that they told David that they threatened him, saying there's a tape of the excavation. I don't know what difference that would have made, but he's saying they were trying to threaten him and make him feel uncomfortable.
For the sole purpose of saying, like, they could have been bluffing.
I guess, yeah, that's what you're allowed to lie to a defendant in an interrogation. You're 100% allowed to lie.
Absolutely,
you can say
take wild stabs in the dark.
Fuck yeah, you can.
I mean, if you're wrong, that gives
that's
that
on
guy
you.
all the fucking.
That's what I mean. They know you don't know anything.
Right.
They don't know what you're talking about. So you can take a wild stab.
Showing your hand.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
If you believe so, I mean, you can say like, yeah, we ran the test. This person's DNA is on your shoes, even if it's not, just to see what they say.
I don't know why they would have it there. So
yeah,
go nuts.
If you're totally innocent, you go bullshit.
Yep.
Not on my fucking shoes. And if you don't, you go, oh fuck. And they can just tell by your reaction.
And then you start thinking, oh my god, I had blood on my shoes that I wiped off.
Did I have blood on my shoes? Because that's what they're doing. They're trying to get it in your head. It's like, you forgot that one spot, Chief. You wiped them off pretty good, but you got to get that right over by the laces. That's how I'm under there. That's where we always find it.
Between the tongue and the side, where the laces go through?
It gets in there.
Always gets in there.
You never think it is, but it is. So they introduced, the prosecutors in court, a statement which he said that he strangled his wife, cut her apart with a razor blade and a hacksaw. Oh boy, that got read in court, which is...
Gross.
How'd you like to sit there? Well, that's read. Eesh. Whoa, boy. And what about her family? That's terrible to sit there and listen to that. So they said that, they weren't positive about her cause of death. They only have what David told them, that he strangled her to death, which seems... He hasn't lied. He stopped lying pretty much after that. He admitted everything. He said exactly how he cut her up and everything like that. They said that he made 2 confessions after her body was discovered. They read both confessions there. He tried to say that they were inadmissible. And they were like, no, this is very admissible. They were trying to say he was pressured by the talk of an electric chair into doing that, but it wasn't. Now the defense attorney Norman Roby, he's got a tough job. This is a shit job for this guy. Really?
You told him what? God
for Christ's sake. So, in your yard?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And you told... Okay.
So, there was 8 pieces that they found, and you told them 8 pieces.
Okay.
This is not fucking dick.
Yeah, so he says that, police pressured him into giving the first confession, and they continued to question him after he wanted to stop. It's a Miranda thing. He wanted to stop, and they continued pressuring him, but the detectives gave the opposite testimony, saying that the confessions were given without coercion, and he's just an asshole who realized that we found his fucking wife in his yard. So November 18th, 1988 is the verdict, and he is guilty.
Yeah.
Very guilty.
Yeah.
Not a lot to get out of there. Now the sentencing comes around, and the judge here says, because he makes a statement
guilty
saying,
of first?
We had it's I don't know, it's just a murder, but it's not a capital murder.
Okay, so qualify it.
Doesn't qualify for death penalty. Okay. So he says, the judge tells him, because David tries to make a statement saying that, wasn't in my right mind, we had marital problems, and it was just, got out of control, and blah, blah, blah. So the judge says that marital problems were no excuse for strangling and dismembering your wife and then putting her in plastic bags and burying her under a pond. He literally said that in court. Like, that's not an excuse for that. Really, nothing is, as a matter of fact, here.
It's hard to say that with a straight face.
Yes. The judge then said that the sentence he's going to give doesn't even fit the crime, but this is the toughest penalty that the law allows me to give you right now. And it is you, sir, may fuck off. Life in prison. Does get possibility of parole, as we'll talk about. But, otherwise, unless he's paroled, his sentence is 999 years, 99 months, and 99 days.
To life.
That's his sentence. That's his sentence if he doesn't get paroled. So let's talk about all of that here.
That's that 99 to life part, right? That's what that is.
It's just that's life, right. I guess. They don't want to give you 1,000 years because it sounds silly. Just sounds stupid at that point. Like, come on. Who lives at 999 is fine, but 1,000?
Even 999 sounds a bit ridiculous, but it's just a shade under that $1,000, 1,000-year, what the fuck did we just do?
They even knew not to make Noah that old. Right. You know what I mean? And that story's the biggest full of shit ever, and they even went like 1,000. That's too old. No one's going to buy that. The whole book's full of shit. Like, it doesn't matter. 800, I think, is probably a better, right? Would you buy 800 or 1,000? Seriously, think about it, dude. Got to make this shit believable. So he says that the trial court erred in denying his motion for a psychiatric evaluation. He argues that because he was indigent and he had no money, he was entitled to a psychiatric evaluation to assist in the presentation of his defense. And he said that there's a law here. It's in Oklahoma. It's a case from Oklahoma he cites, saying that when a defendant demonstrates to the trial judge that his sanity at the time of the offense is to be a significant factor at trial, the state must at a minimum assure the appellant access to a competent psychiatrist who will conduct an appropriate examination and assist in the evaluation and presentation of the defense.
I fully agree with that.
I agree with that 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, you can't just tell people, no, you're fine, throw them in jail.
We got to keep this on the up and up. Man.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right. If it's on the up and up, then you can say, yeah, fuck that guy. Right. But when it's not on the up and up, that's when people are like, oh, I feel bad for a murderer because you're like, it fucking shouldn't.
This is why we need great defense attorneys.
Great
everybody should get a fair shake.
Court needs to be spotless. Right. I know it's impossible and it's difficult, but it fucking needs to be as close to it as we can possibly get.
Absolutely.
You know? So, but the judge also cites that a criminal defendant does not have a right to a mental examination merely because he requests one, nor does the fact that an accused is indigent automatically entitle him to a free psychiatric evaluation. I don't like the way that's worded.
No.
An indigent defendant will be entitled to state-funded psychiatric assistance only after he's made a preliminary showing that his sanity at the time of the offense is questionable, which he was asking for that. They said, though, after reviewing the record carefully, the court finds no error in the trial court's analysis there. So basically, fuck off there. They said, you don't get that and you shouldn't have got that. I don't like that at all.
I hate that because then it's like we have to do this on the cheap.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And
like
cheap is never good.
You don't get no free doctor visit. It's like, we're talking about a murder trial. They're pretty expensive.
Right.
Let's stick him.
We're talking about hanging on to him for the rest of time.
Let's get him a shrink for $100 an hour for an hour and just see what's going on.
Right.
Let's
Even
just poke
if it's
in
6
there.
hours.
Don't care.
That's $600 to the state.
Fuck it.
Let's do it.
It's better than countless appeals that go on forever and have merit and can be, take longer time here. Now, there's also the change of venue. The judge says, this is funny, in these days of swift, widespread, and diverse methods of communication, this is 1989, he's talking about this, so swift, an important case can be expected to arouse the interest of the public in the vicinity, and scarcely of any of those best qualified to serve as jurors will have not formed some impression or opinion as to the merits of the case. Basically, unless you have your head buried in the fucking sand, like with the OJ case, what are you going to say, you've never heard of this?
Right.
What are you, fucking joking? Do you want anyone who's like, I never heard what's going on now? You want that guy on the jury? Really?
Yeah.
No, you don't. He's fucking completely clueless and he's not a regular member of society.
No.
That's nobody's peer.
No.
That's a hermit's peer.
Right.
That's it. Ted Kaczynski's peer. So he says this is particularly true in criminal cases. To hold that the mere existence of any preconceived notion as to guilt or innocence of an accused without more is sufficient to rebut the presumption of a prospective juror's impartiality. So, yeah, basically, jurors can figure it out on their own, which I also, come on. I mean, it didn't have to be that. You could have moved it a county or two over. They would have heard about it less.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been so right up their ass. Right. They wouldn't have heard the neighbor complaining the whole time.
You want a bunch of people with no TVs sitting on a jury? Those are the worst people.
That's what I mean. No, not even read the news even. Just nothing. I know nothing about what's happening in society.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
That's fucking weird. And finally, the voluntariness of his statements. He says that the police failed to comply with the mandates of Miranda in Bonetti says they continued to question him after he invoked his Miranda rights to remain silent, but they say that's actually not true. Basically, he said that he wasn't invoking his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. He said he answered no. Basically, the officer said, I asked him, quote, do you have anything to tell me? And he said no. Mm-hmm. That's not pulling your Miranda rights. That's a conversation. You have to say, I want my attorney now. And then you have to keep saying it, because most of the time they're going to say, well, if you get an attorney, then we can't talk to you anymore and we can't help you. That's what they're going to tell you.
Great.
Good. Get me my fucking attorney is what you got to do.
Your help is just going to land me in jail.
And then you got to wait for it
without
talking. The whole time they're going to be like, sipping coffee. Sure, you don't want to talk? I mean, it's a long wait.
Get you out of the cell.
I mean, maybe we could help you. You never know.
McDonald's, have a chat.
There you go. So that's kind of how it works here. So you have to say what you mean, and he doesn't. So they said that he was denying. It was more like they thought he was denying involvement in the case than he was saying he didn't want to talk to them at all. Yeah. It's like, no, I ain't saying shit, like a kid would do.
Right.
Basically, they said that his assessment of his situation was both inaccurate and misleading, the officer's assessment, since the officer told him that he's going to fry, and his wife, this is a murder case, not a capital murder case. So despite this, though, they said that his advice to David was not to constitute reversible error, because there's enough evidence that it doesn't matter, basically, that the confession was voluntary, even if it was a little dirty, basically. So he's in jail there. This is Alabama. You have to remember, like, there's not imperfect justice everywhere in the world, and especially we know about it anyway in America. I'm sure it's worse other places, but there's a lot of injustice here. But this isn't one that, like, this is a mild one compared to what we
scream. New trial.
Exactly. So 1993, there is a book that's going to come out.
Yeah.
About this. This is a woman writes a book here, and we'll talk about it in a second here. It's Glenda Yarbrough. She lives in Alabama, and she is going to write a book about this whole thing, and it's a partly fictionalized account. It is quote. Well, I'll read you the whole thing here. It's a book that the lawsuit is at the request of basically everybody in her family. They even name her 3 children in there and everything like that.
They're suing Yarbrough?
They're suing her. They're trying to get it blocked. They're not suing her. They're trying to get the book blocked, basically here. And they do. This is the description of the book on Amazon, because it eventually came out. Quote, based on a true story.
Yuck.
Which means it's not true.
Right.
If you see based on a true story, you go, a nugget of this.
We sensationalize the fuck out of this.
This idea caused this other idea to happen, basically. Publication of this book was banned for over 500 days. Dude,
shut up.
Can't just say a year and a half?
Right.
500 days sounds much longer. By a local judge in Decatur, Alabama. This ruling was overturned by the Alabama Supreme Court, enabling publication of the manuscript. Under the Fish Pond is a novel based on a true story. So it's bullshit with a dead lady under exactly that kept the local community guessing where the mother of 3 was. Rumors spread throughout the community, but no one could prove what happened to the young mother. But a determined sister would not accept the story that her brother-in-law told about his wife. Virginia is a strong-willed Southern lady, driven by love for her sister and determination to ensure that Debbie's children know the depths of their mother's love. They must be assured that she would never willingly desert them.
Yikes.
So, that's what we're looking at here.
I want nothing to do with that.
Yep. So that apparently wasn't able to be published until like 1995. And I bought it and read it, just the Kindle. For this is what I mean.
How bad is it?
It's bad. It's a Lifetime movie on paper.
Oh,
is what it is. It's one of those.
That's what she was aiming for.
That's exactly what she was.
I'm going to get this on TV.
Exactly.
And I'm going to make so much money.
Exactly.
Then they're going to give me another one.
Oh, baby.
Oh, because I'm
going to go around
in
small towns looking for buried people.
Ugh.
So January of 2001, he is up for parole and denied for parole. 2001. I mean, Christ, he's only been in there for 12 years. He's only to 13 years he's been sentenced. You're not getting out.
We got 19 to go to get to present day.
That's what I'm saying. September 2005, parole hearing. District Attorney Bob Burrell objected to parole for Stewart, citing the brutal nature of his crime. He prosecuted the case as a DA, and he says, and he showed up for the parole hearing. How you doing?
Hey, remember me?
No, he's not on the parole board.
Oh, okay.
He showed up
he's just there to say,
give his side of the story.
Him.
Yeah, it's been almost 20 years, and he's still ready to go do that shit. He says that he would rather see affidavit, serve his full sentence would be fine. He requested parole there. Like we said, he would be eligible in 2010. He gets a hearing in 2011, a parole hearing. A 3-man board took less than 5 minutes to tell him to eat dicks and take the fuck off. And there, he's being held in medium security at the time. And his parole again was opposed by the district attorney who came there. 2016, he's up for parole again and denied.
Great.
Denied. He still sits in jail. Oh. And he keeps getting denied in like 5 minutes. Like that's they already know he's denied.
There's no remorse still.
They don't give a yeah, exactly. He's got to do something. So as of right now, he is in Easterling Correctional Center, medium security facility, and there he is. His AIS, which is his Alabama number.
To see, James, I would love to see him get paroled and then the DA come back to him and say, yes, you're out, but we have this 15-year-old.
Let's talk about that.
Who told us a horrible story.
Let's talk about that.
I would love for him to get convicted of pedophilia and get thrown right the fuck back
Somebody tell me what the age of consent was in Alabama in 1984.
Oh,
because
my God.
It could be 14. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking.
And it could be like parental consent, too.
Yeah, it could very easily be 14 because I know like Idaho was like 14 for a long time. So it was like a weird law that everybody used to talk about.
It certainly is disgusting, whether it's legal or not.
Legal or not. Disgusting.
Gross.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
So Deborah Harrison Work, which was her name before she married him, she ended up buried here at the Rose Lawn Gardens of Memory in Decatur, Alabama. She is in the Garden of Everlasting Life section.
Beautiful.
So good for her. Poor Debbie. That's a terrible thing to have happen.
I hope there's no pond there.
No, God, I hope it's not near a pond. Nowhere near a pond. I feel so bad for those little girls.
That's awful.
That's the worst thing. Who were told for 3 years that their mother abandoned them.
Yeah.
Only to find out that they would fucking play around a pond where that's disgusting. It's absolutely horrible and heartless. And I hope that asshole doesn't get parole because he doesn't fucking deserve it. He doesn't. People have done worse shit on this show, obviously, but that affected his own kids so shittily. Like, it shows how little heart this guy has that we really don't need him around, right?
Even worse, the people that live in that house now, it's probably still standing, right?
I would assume so.
They didn't tear that down. That's expensive.
Probably. That's a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely something there. It's rough. So, I don't know. If you like that story,
Jesus,
let us know about it.
Yeah.
Tell us on Apple Podcasts, that purple icon. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Also, you can do that on Stitcher. Just say something on there. It helps drive us up the charts, damn it. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your small-town murder and crime and sports needs. I know you have so many of them. We have all sorts of cool new merch up, all sorts of shit there. Check it out. Listen to Crime and Sports if you haven't. We had a murder the week before. We had Scottie Pippen this week. So some shit that you might be interested in. Check that out.
And thank you guys so much for so quickly selling out those masks that Sarah made. Everybody
they were
seemed
awesome.
to love them.
Yeah, thank you for doing that,
you guys. Are fucking heroes.
We
jammed those out and
that money's already been donated.
All of it.
We donated
didn't take
it
a
all.
penny of it.
Oh, fuck no, Jesus
You guys
Christ.
are awesome.
So thank you for doing that, everybody. You guys probably made a difference in somebody's life for that, so that's pretty damn cool. We appreciate that. So yeah, shutupandgivememurder.com for all that stuff. Oh, listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie on Friday. We're doing The Room, which I'm going to make fun of some Tommy Wiseau. So that's going to be fucking fun. I know a lot. I read the book, the Disaster Artist book behind it that Greg Sestero wrote.
You've read so many books. I'm so impressed.
It's just audio books mostly. I just do it while I'm doing shit.
I read like the label of my ketchup and I'm exhausted. Just to see how many calories I'm pushing down my throat.
Too many, Jimmy. It's too many.
And that's all I got.
That's fucking perfect. So yeah, listen to that. We're gonna make fun of Tommy Wiseau there in The Room, and holy shit, I have a lot of background info. It's pretty fucking good stuff. Check all that stuff out. If you want bonus small town murder, you can get that very easily. Patreon.com/crime and sports. Anybody at the $5 and above level is going to get bonus content, and we have a lot of bonus content up there. I mean, we're gonna put an episode out tomorrow, this week, that is us discussing The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, which is one of our favorite documentaries, and I know you guys too, so you've asked us to talk about it a lot, and we have so much to do. We try to really do a variety. Sometimes it's a case, it's a miniature crazy-ass case, sometimes it's the prisoner dating game, sometimes it's classified ads, sometimes it's we talk about a crazy documentary or something. We just try to make it funny.
You guys
and give you guys
us
content.
so many ideas too in terms of what you demand.
You. We love it. it.
And we try to give you as much as the things that you want.
You all ask for Rod Beck stories. My friend Rod Beck, the baseball player for Crime and Sports. So that's the Crime and Sports one this week is just Rod Beck stories, and you can have access to that.
Right.
Both shows under the same umbrella when it comes to that. We'll give you everything for the $5. Do that. crimeandsports.com. Or Jesus Christ, not at all. Patreon.com. No, we don't own that. Patreon.com/crime and sports.
Right.
Or if you just want to be a really nice person, do a one-time donation. You can do that. That is PayPal, and you just use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com, to make a one-time donation. And Jesus Christ, are we grateful to everything you guys do for us.
Very much like a poodle that I don't know how to love it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to show my affection.
I don't know how to accept it.
I don't know how to accept your acceptance, but I do know that I am grateful, and we can't say thank you enough.
And live shows, tickets, I mean, who knows? We don't know what the fuck's going on with that. We don't know. We don't know when they'll be allowed to happen. We have no idea.
We're told it'll happen?
We're told it'll happen, then we're told that we're going to try. We don't fucking know what's going on. We promise you this. When you ask us a question, if you haven't found out about it yet, it means we don't know about it yet. So as soon as we hear, we immediately tell everybody. We put it on social media, and you can get all those updates very easily at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, or at Small Town Murder on Instagram. You can do all of that shit. But that said, I need to hear something good. We've heard a terrible story. I need to hear something excellent that lifts my spirits, like the list of the fucking greatest people on the face of the earth. Jimmy, put them on top of me like 2 feet of concrete.
Jesus Christ. This week's executive producers are Clay Thorson, Danielle Ogilby, Nick and his wife over at Buck Trucking. Thank you guys so much. David and Evelyn Turcule. Evelyn, it's Evelyn, not sorry. David, your wife loves you.
She loves you.
Stephanie Thielbar, Cody Beretta, Elizabeth Spearman, Melissa Turner, Amanda Berry, not the one that was kidnapped, I'm sure. Total Axe in Michigan. They're in Detroit. Chris Ross. When this shit's over, you guys start patronizing small businesses, especially Total Axe up there. Go throw axes. It's literally some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. Mark, you 7-foot behemoth, thank you for getting Ian McLung into the show, and hang in there. He's got, I'm not going to get into his personal shit. He's got some things happening. Hang in there, Mark. Jack and Carolyn, happy anniversary. I think it's Caroline. Cecilia Carter, Adrian DeWitt, Megan Bonstetter, Shayla Iticheria? No. Jordan Bennett, Jens Rippey, Jason Villaramon, Matthew Tipton, Amber Mackey, Emerson with no last name, Ashley Taylor, Aaron Taylor, Denise Anderson, Savannah McKinney, Tara Ziegler, Michelle, Finling, Jessica Rivero, Sarah Click, Tammy Massman, JT Ballum, Rob Swanson, and Keith Navarro. Thank you guys so much for everything you do.
Amazing.
We can't do it without you. Other producers this week are Donna Sittler, Carrie Gage, Taryn with no last name, happy birthday, Alan Moody, Thomas Smith, Danica Ulrich, I think, Elizabeth Herrera, Matt Lyons, Heather Briggs, Amanda Coleman, Graham Wilson, Sarah Fox, Brooklyn Parks, James Martyr, James Carter, Paige with no last name, Liz Vasquez, Susan Nova, Scotty Hatfield, Laura Ferguson English, Jennifer Day, Ryan and Sarah Webb, Ali Santarelli, maybe, Rebecca Kunzel, I don't know, Patricia Arcan, Janice Hill, Peyton Meadows, Carl Kirshner, Andrea Webster, Mitchell with no last name, Evan Lee, Tony Santos, Amanda Knight, Tracy Renninger, Anthony Ryan, Juna Leisty, Mary King, Ryan Shank, Gary Howard, Yaviani, Lorenzo, Krista Walker, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Rachel Lamptey, Christina Lambert, Dawn Dickman, Amy Yell. She donated both ways. Thank you, Amy. The Pattersons, Sean Beth Zaida, and Esmeralda. That's who it is.
There you go.
Austin J. Henry, Brennan with no last name, Tammy Robinson, Trey Valkanar, Lee Dooley, Samuel Crouch, Carolyn Krieger. That's a tough one. Chloe Carlson, Hannah Bevins, Amanda McDowell, Autumn Uplinger, Lauren Gray, Mina Smith, shit. Jude Kendall, George Lopez, he had to put his dog Karma down.
Oh, I saw that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, George. Or Jorge. That's probably Jorge.
Yeah.
Louise Rayfield, Elizabeth Leatherland, Autumn with no last name, Steve Schnell in PA. Thanks, Steve. Nick Letourneau.
Thanks.
By the way, Mary Kay Letourneau's son's name is Nick.
It is.
I don't know if it's the same dude.
Well, if it is,
I really hope it is. And Nick, I hope you're thriving, buddy.
Yeah.
Patrick Haggerty, Marissa Levine, Dove Harper, Toby Moulton, Pamela Camel. Alexandria Bracken.
Wow.
What is happening? Brakanovich, I think. Abby Green. Emily with no last name. William Perry. William Northcutt. Angela Reynolds. TJ Mack. Thank you, TJ. Megan House. Mike with no last name. Iggy? No. Iska? Oh, 1564 Ventures. I tried to pronounce numbers. Jackie Sukup. Aiden Toth. Dave in Salt Lake City. Kelsey Burton. Why was that so hard? Niraj Vijay, CJ McAndrews, Jenny Mello, Matt Wilson, Gene. I was doing so great. John, Gene, Deer, Carl Weber, Hafid Cristobal, Mike Szymanski, Eve Fry, Lou Bush, Christina Cassidy, Amber Adams, Jacqueline Payton, Martha Egler. No, Angler.
Running easy ones before that.
I know. Pixie Gamers, Hunter McCarthy. I can't get the easy ones either. Cat Ferguson. Nick.
You're a disaster, Jimmy.
Fleming or Fleming? I think it's Fleming.
More likely Fleming than Fleming.
Right.
I've heard that name more.
Sharina Sweeney, Daniel Pinenberg, Josh Elul, Eric Bryan, Nick Klug.
Wheels are coming off right
Luke
now.
Banks, Eric Frick, Kristen Minnis,
Bolts
R.
are
Vincent.
shooting off to the side of the road.
Tim Carr, Michelle Council, Marianne and Paul Carnes, Larry Dunn, Dave with no last name, Adriana Tumasayan. Nope.
And there goes the white wall.
The brakes started leaking. Michael Lakin, Katri Fuel, Spencer Woolard. Oh, Spencer, I know her.
Hey.
She's fantastic.
Thank you.
Armando Vera, Christy Stutz, Billy Daniels, Yasmin M. and her cousin Melissa, Harry Edwards, Mama Mandy Collins, Emily with no last name, Luke Lay, Christina Hills, Hannah Jacobs, Anna Celeste, Carly Arlington, nope, it's Allington, Tyler Bowers, Gage Simmons, Maria R, Jacqueline Garcia, Shannon Avery, Esley Anderson, yep, Kevin Wee, Catherine Logan, Joe Johnson, Chris with no last name, Adrian Lacey. Thank you, Adrian. Her husband's, they live up in Milwaukee. We see them at the shows up there.
Thank you.
Melissa England, Laurel Sullivan, Tina Dedrick, Taryn Lutz, Amanda Strobeck. God damn it. Sean Wolf, Cynthia Palmer, Dominic Duncan, Jeez Shabazz, Meredith Williams, Caden Gomalski, Christina Cassidy, Kendall Kerr, Hendel, that's probably Kendall. Leslie, it's not Hendel. Leslie Alcantar, Mona Stevens, John, Kylo or Kilo, Adam Apple, Aaron Miller, Alexis Binder, James Bidwell, Gianoni. No. Giannini. Sarah Drake, I think. Angela Placentia. Angel with no last name. Caleb Plummer. Yep, Palmer.
Hey.
Fuck. Crystal.
Fuck yeah.
I'm getting there. We're almost done. Crystal Leanne. Charlie Prigmore. Denna DeVilliers? No.
Yeah.
David Broughton. Savannah Barfield. Amanda Ronning. Kim Cameron. Stephanie Zaka. Martha Casta. What did I do? Casta Tutasonan.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Not gonna work here
Office
anymore.
space.
Nikki with no last name. Tina Henson, Quelksey, Matthew McAfee, Booze Wizard, Carol Paulin, Shauna Mahoney, Amatrano, Sam with no last name, Kenzie Gerhard, Zach Basler, Marinda Jones, Ike Vasco, not that Drew, I guess that's another Drew, Michael D'Amato, Danielle Erickson, Zach Basler, Jay Jacobs, Mark Peralta, Andrew Hunt, Jay with no last name, Ian Artemotovich, I think I did that right. No, I didn't. Amy Webb, Blair Bryant, Rayshawn Eastman, Nicole Gonzalez, Jim Morphus Gass, Melissa Weber, Amanda Strickhauser, Blair Bryant, Chris Stahl. Oh, God damn it. Okay. Anthony LaPoma, Kyle McDonald, Lizard Q, Juliet Hughes, Pedro Gonzalez, Amanda Pesha Listen, this says penis in 7 different ways, and that's not her name.
7 different penis.
Yes. Bobby Chambly, or Chambliss, Annalise Hull, Jillian with no last name, Arias Purcell, Kayla Roberts, Amanda Siegel, Britt Beckner, FML, Dan Curran, Andrew Fiegel, Jamie Nosebush. That sounds like you need a trimmer. Shane Rankin, Jenny Bukowski, I think. Ryan Kincaid, Crean, Emily Bain, Timothy Arigi, Todd Purley. How did we get the hardest? Darius DJ, Michelle Gleason, Elio Purin, Sarah Stallman, Dylan Robertson, Jericho Carbon. Hey. I am Andy Redman, Brian Culbertson, Mike Rabe, Gary with no last name, Jennifer Burns, Nicole Sabenka, S. Rodriguez, Denise Puri, Worley Ayala, Maura Pintar, Marion Mueller, Michael Manzo, Stacy Diorio, Gustafson, Josh Lee, Josh Austin, Ben Larson, Eric with no last name, Oliver Kason Gary, Melissa Lydia, Brad Windle, Shelley Murphy, Jesse Strickland, Aaron Berzinski, and Shipley. Derek Saylor, Vincent Warburton, Jonathan Porter, Andy Mitchell, Sam Rosner, Lucy with no last name, Gonzalo Cabrera, Andra, Bella Boone, Shauna Taylor, Jeremy Short, Michelle Perinaud, Antoinette Livermore, Chris Shands, Dakota Lepine, April Bennett, Tyler Knapp, Heather ESP, I don't know how to pronounce that. Nicole and Ashley, by the way, their mother and daughter, and they donated last week. Her mother did under that, and then she donated this week under that. So now we have 2 Nicole and Ashley's, same people.
Awesome, thank you.
Leanna Boyd, Colin Spencer, Caitlin Coburn, Andrew Geiser, Jeff Blowbaum, Jesus, Katie Oatley, sounds like a porn genre. Michael Walters, Cameron Bullard, Gina Crow. I only do blow bombs.
Yeah.
Jeff, Matt DeStefano, Jenna Crow, Cameron Bullard, Sierra Plotz, Sam Terranova, Dirty Luckstash? I don't know what that is. Tiffany Cronquist, Susan Phillips, Kristen Uri, Jason Wiener. No, yes, it is. Echo Clayton, Jennifer Cabaz, Lisa Coe, Sanjay Higazig. No, boy. Hibagzig. Nope. Hibagzin? Yeah. Hibagazon. Kylie Plasek, Ray Sanders, Joshua Smith, Jessica Brotherton, Joseph Bunger, Fran Roberts, Tama Ellis, Jordan Catherine, Max Marks, Mark Garcia, Johnny Block, Ryan Hansen, Ruth Beagle, Jessica Rojas, Dahlia Dominguez, Jenny Hand, Carrie Galazorn, nope. Heather Holbrooks, Craig Bissett, Chris Riesenbeck, Matt, War Machine Koppenhaver, Andrew Augustus, Tracy Johnson, Ethan Benfield, Dan Krawzik, T.D., Terrell Hansen, Tiffany Drush, Brittany Wright, Kevin Franklin, Jim Barrow, Monica Colson, Jimmy Terry, Andrew Bryan, Dick Minge, Steph Monroe, Elaine Kratz, and Lucille Farrell. Thank you guys so much, and also thinking about Lisa over there in North Carolina.
Oh yeah, big time, Lisa Coltrane. Thank you.
Hang in there, Lisa.
Yeah, man. Sorry to hear that.
We think about you. Be good. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. fucking thank you guys so much.
So many.
There's so many, and we just really appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you guys. You're honestly keeping us alive, being that we can't tour.
Right.
So that's normally how we make money. So thank you guys.
I assure you, the second that we're allowed, we will.
We will be out as soon as we can. We not only do we want you guys to have shows, we want to do shows.
Right.
We're anxious.
Yeah.
We got used to that. We like being on the road. We like coming to the towns. We like seeing you guys. We like the whole thing. It's fun. We like meeting everybody.
Yeah.
It's good shit. So we're really excited to do that. And if we can, we can.
Getting to tell you in person the thank you is fucking enormous.
It's better.
To us too. We love
it's
that.
better. It's an energy too.
Yeah.
There's an energy in those crowds. It's amazing, man. Right when they all shout, "Shut up and give me murder" loud as fuck at the beginning, I'm like, this is going to be great stuff. You can tell it's a good crowd. You're like, yeah, this is going to be good shit. But what if one of the people here wanted to tell you that you're good shit, Jimmy? How could they get a hold of you?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you guys so much for really everything. Where can they tell you?
You can tell me at Jimmy P is funny, or just copy and paste my name from the show description and do it that way. And I will tell you this: if you're a dick, I'm not a nice guy. I'm just not. I'm not one of these guys like turn the other cheek, or I'm not one of these guys, I just block them. I don't care. I will mock you and make fun of you and fucking bully you.
And that's not an invitation.
It's not.
I promise you.
It's not. But if you want to, motherfucker, bring it, because I don't care. I'm such an asshole. I'll never give in to what you want me to say. I'm always just going to insult you horribly and creatively. And then other people will laugh at how stupid you look and make fun of you. That's how it works. So fuck off. Stop bothering us with dumb shit. Want to say hi? You want to say you fuck something up? That's fine. I don't care. I'm up for saying we fuck something up, except for pronunciations. Put those in your pocket. But otherwise, it's fine. But that said, God damn it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus